Hello and welcome back to the SEGA Spirit Show. It's your healthy dose of blue skies, blast processing, and a whole lot of retro-fueled enthusiasm. I'm your host, Gruesome Graham Cookson, and joining me as always is a man who treats every podcast like his own personal Sonic the Hedgehog 1 bonus stage. It's Scotty, Scream If You Want to Go Faster, Mo! And in this episode, we'll be looking at a particularly spooky Sega game that is synonymous with Halloween. What is it? You'll find out later. Plus, as always, we have our Sega community news. We've got some updates on various ports for different consoles. I think one for the MegaDrive, one for Dreamcast, and one for the SEGA Saturn. So that's very exciting. And and we're also celebrating a bit of Halloween stuff with spooky goings on. So come join us as we celebrate the Sega Community Classics and Halloween in the spooky Sega Spirit Show. Yes, we are back and we are dressing up for Halloween, and Scotty really wanted to debut his outfit, his costume on camera.
Tell the people what you are.
Okay, sorry, yeah. So I decided. So okay, basically, I'm English. Even though in England we do celebrate Halloween these days. When I was a kid, we didn't really. So I don't really have any costumes. However, Scotty ages ago sent me these lovely Beat glasses, and I've got a Dreamcast hoodie, and I have a Jet Set Radio T-shirt, which is not the T-shirt I wanted to wear. I wanted to wear the proper Beat yellow T-shirt, but I can't find it. But this is a Jet Set Radio related T-shirt, so I thought Dreamcast. Yep. So basically, I'm Beat. There we go. My
Beat from Jet Set Radio.
Beat from Jet Set Radio. Yes. So keeping it Sega related. It's basically all I've got.
I think a lot of people don't know his name because it's just a quick syllable, and like you start as him in the game, and then it's never. I really feel like it's said again. So
yeah.
It's for super duper clarity. Beat from Jet Set Radio.
Beat from Jet Set Radio.
He's here with us, folks.
Yep, that's me. Yeah, he's like the main guy on the cover normally. You'll know who he is. But yeah, so Scotty, okay, I'm very excited for this because I don't know what you're dressing up as, and it sounded very complicated.
Well, it's crazy coincidence that you also chose Jet Set Radio for your Halloween costume idea, because I have as well. And let me tell you, everybody knows DJ Professor K, right? So he's the guy that yells Jet Set Radio, and he's got the crazy hair and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to introduce to you, it's still spelled with a K, DJ Jet Set Wait, hold on. DJ, what? Oh my God, my brain. DJ Professor K. I am DJ Professor Crustaceous or Carnivore. DJ Professor Carnivore. There's the K, baby. Jet Set Radio.
Okay, it's brilliant. So for any audio listeners we might have, Scotty has a dinosaur head on, basically. With if you know Jet Set Radio, you know Professor K. He has these wacky, I guess, spiky dreads that kind of come out like big electric bolts, basically, and he's got that attached to his dinosaur head. He's got this really cool white T-shirt with this sort of black
that's a lightning bolt.
Lightning bolt. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, down the front, a bit like Professor K, and he's also got dinosaur hands on and a microphone, and he's drinking a drink from a straw.
Yeah, that's me. That's DJ Professor Carnivore.
That
right
is really
here.
Good. I've got the
on the side. It's a Velociraptor mask, and like legit 1993 Jurassic Park Velociraptor mask. And there's the K on there. And I only have one claw on because I needed to be able to use the mouse to reveal my camera. I mean, I can put another claw on so that it's
wow.
The real
See,
deal.
I thought I wouldn't be able to see very well with these glasses on because they actually are quite obscuring. But this is interesting with you. That are you going to keep that mask on for the whole show?
We're going to see how well you can hold a conversation with this. Here it is, Jet Set Radio.
If we were giving out awards for the best Halloween costume, you'd obviously win. But
this is the thumbnail. Yeah.
Bring us both up. There we go. That is really good. You've done very brilliantly there. I love it. That's so good.
$30 and 1993 mask. So there you go.
That's fantastic. Oh wow. So I guess we're with you, Scotty Dino Professor K person. What have you been up to
Professor
this week?
Carnivore, please.
Professor
Thank you.
Carnivore, sorry, yes. Professor
I was
Carnivore.
gonna go with Professor Cretaceous, but I was like, not as many people know the Velociraptor is from the Cretaceous period, and no one will care about that. Carnivore spelled with a K is way funnier.
Okay.
So,
I sh-
um,
oh
yeah.
dear.
What happened? What did you ask me something?
Yes, what have you been up to this week other than making an
Oh
awesome
boy, let
outfit?
me grab this movie that I watched. Uh, yeah, we'll see how long this lasts. I watched the movie Don't Panic. It is a horrible, basically ripoff of Nightmare on Elm Street, and it's the Static Zone actually watched this per Corey's suggestion, and it's pretty good. By that I mean really bad, but really fun to watch. Like fun to laugh at, fun bad. And it's I don't know, like some sort of Spanish indie film because the main character has a Spanish dialect that like goes in and out as he's talking. And yeah, it's good. Don't panic. Got it through Vinegar Syndrome. Have you ever seen this?
I don't even know what it is.
That's okay, because it's horrible. Oh boy, one of the hands is going to work. This is the other cover, if that's going to be at all recognizable. Probably not, though. Nobody knows this movie. That's okay. It
No.
shouldn't be known. It's bad. Um, and then also, more notably, I finally started watching the House of the Dead director's cut,
Yes.
funny edition, blah, 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 blah.
Excellent.
Um, I don't have my glasses on, so I'm going to get real close to my monitor here.
Fantastic.
Uh, let's see here.
Should we let people know
So,
what it is? So just
yeah,
for a,
tell the people as I went to
so
read.
2 episodes ago, we actually did like a review retrospective on Uwe Boll's House of the Dead movie, which is a massive train wreck and just a terrible movie. And as we were talking about it, Scotty discovered that online that there is a recut of it, like an official recut of it, which has turned it into like a comedy movie. And he
Yeah.
was like, "I've got to get this," and he found a website to order it from, and it arrived a few weeks ago. And yeah, you've watched it, so go take it away.
Yeah, I'm happy I only paid $7 for it on Amazon also. But it is the director's cut, but it says funny edition on the cover. And so the start of it is real fun because it has it's a play on a public execution with Uwe Boll being the one who's going to be executed. I'm like, oh, good. Boy, this is hilarious, guys. Let's keep going with this joke. Um, but what is funny is like they're just in a house and a dog's just walking around and like walks up to Uwe Boll right before they cut, like he wants pets or something. So it completely diminishes the dramatic effect.
That is really weird.
Um,
Okay.
and then let me see here. I wish I could show you what I just did. I had to hold down a button and hit plus a bunch of times to zoom in the font so I could read because I again don't have glasses on in this mask because it's so tight. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, I did notice. So what's crazy overall is they edited stuff for this version of the movie clearly with plans of it happening as it was being shot, but in the credits, there's a breast augmentation credit. That was not in the original thing.
Oh, okay.
Funny, funny boob joke. But it's basically like pop-up video. First, do you guys have the channel VH1 over there?
We might be able to get it on one of the paid services you have here, but I never had one of those paid
Oh,
services
okay.
like Sky or
Because
Virgin or whatever. But
Gotcha. Because there was pop-up video, and all that is like little factoids blop up on the screen in little blobs and shapes and
okay.
things of like what happened in a music video or how it was made and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what this does a little bit. I showed you, I don't know if you I sent you a video. If you want to play that, you can, like so people know how
Oh,
dumb
I didn't
this
see the
looks.
video. I
I
know
don't
you
know.
sent me some
Yeah, I sent it in Discord
screenshots.
if you want to bring that up while I talk a little bit more
Okay,
about
will
this.
that ruin my cameras? That's the next question. If I do that,
Uh
hopefully not.
But so it does that sometimes where it says like this guy was friends with the director. That's why he's in every Uwe Boll movie. And this is a funny part, even though it's not that funny. There will be more that are also not that funny. Like it's rough. It's like just when you're trying to be funny or when you know you're trying to be funny, I think that's the hardest thing to watch.
Yeah.
Um Also another reference they do is when all of the characters walk in and it's white girl, black girl, two white guys, they have an arrow pointing at the black girl and it says equal opportunity film accomplished or something like that. I'm like, wow, you
Oh,
suck, guys. You
God,
just
that's
suck. Um,
not even
and I
funny
was
at
like,
all.
that was only like 5 minutes in, so I was like, well, let's give it a little more of a shot. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to watch 5 minutes of something I paid for and just call it quits. So, the other thing that they had was like the music is different and sometimes actually better.
Oh,
um,
okay.
but there's like a manometer on the screen, and that's literally from 0 to 10. And it's like when the dude is paying for the quick trip on the boat to the island where House of the Dead is happening, like it goes higher and higher, and you hear girls moaning because he's more of a man because he has money, basically, and it's just so bad. Yeah, so here's
Oh,
the you
okay.
probably
I
have
just
to
need to
mute it,
have
but
to get this on the screen. Sorry, one
um
second. I just need to get the sharing screen going.
oh, sure. But
There
yeah,
we
like I
go.
literally just filmed it from my phone while I was watching it on my lunch break, and I was like, I gotta at least send this to Graham so he knows what I'm dealing with through this bad movie.
Wow.
Um, but it's just like he knows the director, which explains why he's in all of his films. And it
This
says like these guys belong in a beer commercial, and like it pauses on them, which it would have already paused.
this
And
is a
then this part,
comedy
which
moment. Oh,
wasn't in the movie before, so there are parts they throw into it. So it's like cut stuff or like cutting room floor stuff.
wow.
Um, the other thing is they actually filmed additional stuff for this
Oh,
because there is another part where there's a scene on the dock or not on the dock, on the oh yeah, no, it is on the dock when like that FBI type agent Coast Guard lady
oh
is
yeah.
like, "Stop, you have to come back and we have to search your boat." And the boat just sails away. They just go because the Captain Kirk's a real cool badass.
Yeah, right. It's,
Then they zoom back in on the agent and her partner, and she's like, "What are we gonna do now?" And the camera pans down, and he unzips his fly and pulls out tickets to the rave concert that is on that island. And I'm like, "This is not funny." Like
wow.
I'm like, "Do I just have a stick on my butt, or is this just really that like worse somehow now?" Um, and but the like there are literally fart noises in this version of the film. I'm not joking. Like that's the kind of comedy they're striving for.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
stalling because I can't find my cursor, and there it is. Okay. Um, oh, yeah, there's fart noises. There's a scene on the boat where they're like trying to catch the fish and throw it back and forth to each other like hot potato, and it just ends. Um, but there's another part where remember the part where Lois Lane, Erica Durant's boy that she's with, like he disappears while
Yeah.
she's in the water naked and stuff. And then she goes into the house and she finds him and a zombie. He's like hung up on a hook or something, and then a hand comes through his stomach, which makes no sense. Um, as he's doing that, he's like, "No, that was shit. Give us a high five." And he like high fives the hand that's grabbing him through his stomach, and then he says, "Don't try the meatloaf." And then the scene continues. I'm like, all right, that actually got me. Him saying, "Don't try the meatloaf" for some reason that made me laugh. But it's so stupid. It's so stupid. And then the one last thing I'll say is, this was a cut scene, just another couple randomly going off to have sex at the rave. Uh, some girl lays down. And then a guy starts kissing her stomach, and she says, "I have it in her outline here." She says, "Quote, sniff for the truffles, you little pig, you." I'm
Okay.
like,
Wow.
that's did so where he's going for, you're calling basically truffles? I just like I'm sure that was a throwaway line. She didn't think they'd keep that in, but nothing
Yeah.
turns you on
That's
more than having a girl tell you to sniff for those truffles,
oh
you little
god.
pig, you.
Yeah. It sounds like they've got genuine bloopers and they've also got some just cut bits. But then, as you say, they've added in some really bad moments and noises and
Yeah. But oh,
yeah.
there was a part with Clint Howard where he brings after the blonde girl gets vomited on
Oh
and
yeah.
she has her shirt off because of that and he goes in and she's like, "Did you get a good look, pervert?" And he in the original version he holds up a cross on a necklace and says, I'm giving this to you for protection. But in an outtake he holds up just a tea kettle and he says, "I'm giving this to you for protection. Sorry, I don't have two." And then he just leaves, and then the movie rewinds itself and they do the actual scene with the cross. And I'm
What?
just like, if you've not seen the original, this makes no sense, first of
Yeah.
all. But also, it's still just like I want to finish it only out of morbid curiosity of how bad this can get. That's it. Not because
Wow.
I'm enjoying it.
I was genuinely hoping that because the original movie is so bad that making a comedy version, I thought it was just gonna be re-edited, like they've changed the scenes
Right.
a little bit or something, maybe
Yep.
change the music, make it more lighthearted. But yeah, it sounds like they've done an even worse job.
Yep. They somehow have.
Oh no! Oh no, Scotty.
But I'm a dinosaur, and I gave it so far 1 talent up. I got to keep watching.
Fair enough. Okay, well, I'd like to get an update on this later. Sounds good. Cool.
What
Uh,
about you, Graham?
what
Beat,
about me? What
beat
about
Graham.
me? I can't actually see my screen properly. These glasses are quite bad. Yes.
Do you
Okay.
have a vision problem? I have like a paper towel roll tube of vision right now. Here's my microphone. Here's some ASMR for you.
Mm.
Yum.
Okay. So good. So good news, everyone. A bit of housekeeping. The audio podcasts for the Sega Spirit Show are now up on most platforms. So I did start putting them up a while ago, and I did make an announcement about that. But then I started having issues. We're using a platform called Podbean to upload. Basically, the whole idea is you're meant to be able to upload videos and audio to lots of different platforms, but there were some weird technical issues where it wasn't actually doing that, and Spotify was a big issue where it wasn't uploading Spotify for some reason. Anyway, I managed to sort that out over the weekend, and then randomly found a way to just basically get it so it takes all our YouTube videos, like from the YouTube playlist, and puts them, basically converts them all to audio and then sends them out to all the other platforms, which saves so much time, because otherwise I was having to basically go in, basically create an audio version, upload the audio version, fill out all the information, the title, all the description, blah, 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 and then tell it what platforms they want to send it to. But now it just seems to be like, hey, I can just do all this magically. And here's the thing, Podbean's help system sucks so bad. There's like no chat, there's no phone number to call. They've got some help articles and stuff, and the help articles are terrible. So what did you say, Scotty?
Customer support.
Yeah, customer support. Yeah, they don't have any, basically. And I happened to be clicking around and found a completely random section that's away from where you put they upload the podcast and distribute the podcast. It's a completely different section, and it had like a thing about YouTube to audio or something on it. I can't remember what it actually said, but I clicked on it. I was like, and basically he said, we can just take all your YouTube videos from a YouTube playlist that you set up, and we will create audio for it. I'm like, brilliant. And it works. So anyway, yeah. So if you are interested, actually share my screen. It is available on Spotify. It's also available on Apple Podcasts and many other platforms. So very happy about that. And just really excited. So hopefully now whenever we upload a new YouTube video, it should magically create an audio one, and then we can send it out. So good news. The only major platform I can't seem to get it on at the moment is Amazon Music, and Amazon Music won't even let me create an account for some reason. I don't know why. So sorry if you use Amazon Music, we're not on there at the moment.
Sound off in the comments. Let us know if you use Amazon Music, because I literally know no one who uses that.
If it turns out it's a super popular platform for our listeners or viewers, I will endeavor to make it happen. But as of now, I'm happy with Spotify and Apple Podcasts, to be honest. That's a ball ache just getting that going. But anyway, yes, enough of that. Also, what's been going on? So
yeah, tell us something fun.
Tell you guys something fun.
Well,
So
I mean, it's good that we have audio up. That is a fun thing.
That is good.
The crap we had to deal with was crap.
But some people back in September may have seen an article. This is actually on Time Extension about there's a magazine that's been created, like a little indie magazine called Forgotten Worlds, and the whole thing is they actually look at different gaming magazines throughout the ages, and issue 6. I don't know if it actually come out in September or they just announced it, but basically. I saw this article on Time Extension. I was like, oh, that looks interesting. And literally just the other day, my copy arrived. So that's really good. Very excited about that. It's pretty cool because it kind of has a focus on... Actually, if I go to this screen, it'd probably be better. it basically literally talks about different. Can I? Where's my screen? Let's make my screen bigger. Yeah, it kind of just talks about different issues of different magazines and like special articles for certain magazines back in like the 90s. And this one specifically covers just Sega magazines. It does have a very heavy UK focus on it, but I mean, for me, that's really good because it's very nostalgic. But also back in the 90s, there were a lot of UK magazines focusing on Sega, and Sega was really big in the UK and most of Europe, so like the Mega Drive especially. But it was really cool. This is so it's a pretty cool little magazine, and if you can get it, I think there are. Oh, actually, no, it's sold out now. Oh, I think I looked at it earlier. It did actually. It said you could buy some, so it's sold out right now. Maybe they'll bring some more back. But yeah, pretty excited for that pickup. And
is it a staple on the side, or what's the spine of it?
it's actually like it's not staples, so it's actually a little bit thicker, too thick for staples.
Yeah.
So it is
Okay,
properly glued. Yeah, it's glued. Yeah, looking at it.
cool. Okay, but it's a thick boy.
Yeah, it's not huge. It's not a huge magazine, but it's pretty
That's okay.
sweet looking at it. Yeah, it's just got some cool pictures and adverts
How,
and
yeah, what are the measurements? Because it's not, well, the UK, your guys' magazines are a little longer than North American magazines, but it looks like it's about the size of like maybe a little bit bigger than a DVD case or something.
yeah, that's probably. Have I got? Don't have a DVD case next to me, do I?
Because there was,
Mhm.
I don't have them next to me. There's an indie magazine I read called, it's an unofficial PSM, a PlayStation magazine basically, but yeah, it's like a little bit bigger than a DVD, but not as big as a regular magazine
Yeah.
size.
In the UK,
So
I
just I was
believe.
saying for the listeners more than
Oh, okay,
anything,
fair
like
enough.
how what the size is.
So I
But yeah.
think because I'm not gonna lie, Scotty. I feel like America does paper sizes really weirdly. In most of the world, you probably consider this to be an A5 size
No
thing.
idea what that means.
So it's about, so if you're doing it in inches, 5.8 by 8.3 inches. Um,
Mm-hmm.
which so it's
Six
one
by
size
eight.
down from A4, which is the standard paper size in most, I guess, most countries. But yeah, you guys have US letter size paper or something, which
I
is
don't even
weird.
know that. All I know is it's
Oh,
8 by 11. Like a piece of paper over here is 8 inches by 11 inches, 8 by 11.
yeah. So
Like
A4 is
these guys.
8.3 inches by 11.7 inches. So yeah, it's just different sizes, I guess. But I feel like
Yep.
this the A size paper is like the standard for a lot of countries. Uh,
Okay.
so a bit like temperature, America's done it differently.
Yep. We do it our own way, which is
Hmm.
usually the wrong way. America.
America. Anyway, yeah, enough of that. So yeah, that's my pickup, and I've been playing a game this week, which we'll talk about later because it's for this show. Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, I was on the Sega Lounge recently. We mentioned this at the end of the last episode, but I was actually that Sega Lounge episode has come out now, and we were discussing the various mini Sega consoles, including the micro Game Gear thing. Mostly the Mega Drive Mini. I don't have that next to me to show. But yeah, if you check it out, go to the Sega Lounge podcast, and I'm on that episode. It's a pretty fun episode. Just talk about the Sega Mini consoles.
Yeah, and Graham roped in discussion about Jackie Chan.
Yeah,
Just kidding. It wasn't his doing for once.
but that happened though. So
I listened to most of it, and yeah, it was fun. I learned some stuff too. I didn't know about the production of the Mini one or two, how that went, and I did not realize, or I forgot that the second model, the Mega Drive 2, was only you could only get it online. For some reason, I thought that I just forgot that that was never in stores.
yeah,
That's all I'll
same here
say though.
actually.
So
Completely forgot
tune
about that.
into
Yeah.
yeah, tune into the Sega Lounge's episode about that though to
Mm. A lot of
get
good
educated
information.
and
Yeah.
enjoy discussion with a couple of guys about the mini consoles. I'm glad you guys also mentioned the other mini consoles because like the Turbo Graphics, that is like the probably the arguably the best of those,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
outside of like the Mega Drive in terms of quality of life and the libraries
Mm.
included that you just cannot affordably get anywhere now. But yeah, I'm glad you mentioned them though.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anything else, Scotty? Any other news? Any other info for you from you side? your
Not
side?
really. I don't have any other pickups. It's been a shorter window since we've recorded last, so but it's probably good that I haven't spent money. So yeah.
It's good. Well, with that, let's move on to our spooky Sega community news.
Community
Woo!
news.
Yes, so we are moving on to our news section, and we're kicking off with Scotty. Do you want to take this
Oh
first one?
shit. Yep, sure do. Hold on. Uh, Wipeout. Remember that game? All right. Is this gonna work, Graham?
I could
Like,
just
can
do all the
you?
news if you like. I could go through it.
No, I mean, are you able to maintain a conversation with what I look like right now, or is that just impossible?
Oh, I love it. I'm here for this.
Okay, great.
So if you're happy with it,
Fantastic.
I'm happy. I'm more than happy with
No,
this.
I just have to make everything like 125% so I can actually read it. So I literally have to use the Talon on one button because this is how Mac, like I think with Windows you just hold, well, still with Windows you can hold control and do the mouse scroll up. With Mac, you have to hold down the option or the Apple key and hit the plus button. But the fact that I have to use one Talon ever so carefully. Anyway, okay, so
Are you
the
looking for your no?
Dreamcast.
Are you looking for your nostrils or for your mouth right now?
My mouth. I can't see
Okay.
anything through the nostrils because
Okay.
I also put I put within the mask in the actual snout is a toilet paper tube because the mask kept caving in on itself, so the nose looked like nothing. So if I was looking at you dead on, you would just see eyes and teeth. Which you do still see, but anyway.
Oh, that's so
Yep.
good.
And I cannot tell you the last time I wore this for a long period of time, I did not have a beard. This itches like a bitch right now, but we're gonna there we
This is
go. Just scratched my chin. We're gonna power
brilliant.
through.
I
It's
love it.
also wet and stinky in here. Um,
God.
that's the wrong tab. That's still the wrong tab. Uh,
That's a wipeout,
where are
yeah.
we? Wipeout. How about it? Let me tell you about Wipeout. It was in the movie Hackers before it was released commercially. Anyway, that's another thing for another day. Um, a couple of episodes ago, I feel like our first or second episode, honestly,
Yeah, it
we
was a
talked
while ago.
about the Dreamcast port of the game Wipeout. Now and then it was in the early stages, but it was playable. Now the creator has completely finished it, so it is a final version of the game now, ported to Dreamcast. Saturn Shiro reported on this, so that's where we're getting this from. Shout outs to them. But now it includes 24-bit color depth. It does have the extended draw distance, like we mentioned before, which was like not present in the original game. Optional 16 by 9 anamorphic widescreen, re-implemented screen shake, and restored PlayStation original collision behavior, and more. The VMU saving and loading for settings and high score. So the VMU does work with it,
Sweet.
and then it also it has the full input remapping for the Dreamcast controller now. The screenshots that they have, you can run it through Redream, which is what the screenshots are from that we're looking at. But that's pretty cool, and yeah, it's not a major update other than the fact that it is completely done now.
Yeah,
They haven't added too much since we talked about it
which is
last, though.
cool. Yeah, and I think I looked at the GitHub where you can actually get this. And I think it was literally a few days ago that uploaded this final version. So excellent. Very excited by this. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a good team, a big team as well. There's like one,
Mm,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, it's 15 or 16 people that worked on this thing overall. Or more than that, I'm sorry. But yeah, we'll have a link in the show notes, but definitely check it out and play it if you like Wipeout because it's the
mm.
best it's ever looked.
Yeah, I played the earlier version when we spoke about it a few months ago, and it was really good. Like genuinely very impressed by what they've done with it, and it works so well on the Dreamcast. So this is like the definitive version, basically. That's what they're saying.
Hmm.
So very good, very exciting. And I have a bit of an update on something we also spoke about, which is a final fight for the Mega Drive. So if you don't know, we've been covering this a little bit over the last few episodes. An indie developer called Mauro Xavier. On Patreon, he's sort of showing off a lot of his work on Final Fight Mega Drive, and we've spoken about there's a 3-player option that's coming out, which is amazing because the original SNES port was only 1 player, the arcade was 2 player, and this is gonna be 3 player, which is like whoa, amazing. But yeah, he's working on a what they call a 1 player plus mode, which essentially it will prevent a second player from joining mid game, which you might think sounds a bit negative, but it actually gives the game more of a performance boost. You can have more enemies on screen, and basically no performance loss, which you might think, oh, but I want to play multiplayer. But yes, those options are still there. So you've still got the normal one-player option, you've got the two-player option, you've got three-player option, plus this one-player plus mode. So really good, really, really cool. And also there's another bit of an update, achievements, because of course we need those these days. I mean,
Chivos, baby.
to be fair, I'm less excited about achievements because I feel like achievements have kind of ruined some games a lot. But I think this is really cool. It's cool that he's going to this effort actually to add these to this game. And yeah, there's quite a lot on there. Is there six? No, that can't be right. 60. Yeah, there's 60, 60 achievements to unlock. Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, I differ on achievements because like I would love to go back and play an emulation of Resident Evil, like the very first one, OG 1998 Resident Evil, if that had achievements, because I played that game to death. So I feel like achievements would get me to try other different styles of gameplay or different
Mm,
things that I would not normally do. But yeah, they're not needed, but it
yeah.
really depends
Well,
on the game and on the person.
so what this is so I actually quite like what he's done here because it's not just achievements. He actually says it when they enable new options for mega mode and a few other extras and stuff. So I think that's kind of cool when it's not just an achievement for the sake of it. It's you've achieved something, you get the little reward, but also that unlocks something else. I think that's kind of cool. I
Yeah.
like it when that happens. But I think for like Xbox 360 or Xbox, and PlayStation stuff, when they started putting achievements and trophies on, a lot of games started to lose like things like cheat codes and stuff. And I'm not saying cheating, people cheat to like get through a game sometimes, but also sometimes cheats were fun. Like you could play as a horse in Daytona, for example, and
Yeah.
steep slope sliders you can unlock a penguin and things like that, which you kind of
Right.
don't get
Right.
these days anymore. And
Yeah.
also, if you want to cheat to get to the end of the game just because you want to finish the game, why not? That's how you want to play it. That's fine. But
Yeah. Again, it
yeah,
depends.
yeah. But in some ways it's good, some ways it's bad. But this is cool. I actually do like this. This is actually a really cool feature. The more I think about it, so awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
retro achievements are pretty awesome in general. It's I
yeah,
watched I got into a streamer who was playing Illbleed and he was trying to get all the achievements on it. And it was just stuff you wouldn't think about doing in the game. But yeah, I don't know. I can see both sides of it because sometimes achievements will get you to explore a part of the game and you'll find things you didn't even know existed. So,
yeah. Cool.
but um but that's neat. Lots of updates on that still going strong.
Yeah.
Um yes. And
So
then speaking of ports again, going back to the port world, we're always if we don't have a port mentioned, then something's I guess wrong in the world when we record an episode if there's not a new port of something. But the game Flashback
yeah.
is some people it might be synonymous with a certain console or something, but the best way I can describe it if you've never heard of it, because it it's a rather generic name, but the game itself is like Prince of Persia, the old school side-scrolling Prince of Persia's,
Mhm.
or I guess if you know Blackthorn that was on
Yeah.
SNES and 32X.
Yeah.
I think that's all it was on. But anyway,
I think that's what it was on. Yeah.
yeah. But this version of it is for the Sega Saturn. It's an enhanced version, and we're watching it right now. But the big things that they've added a lot of stuff, but just the fact that this was never released on Sega Saturn, so is that correct? Right?
Yes, it was never
Yeah.
released on there. I
Okay.
don't think it was released on PlayStation either, but the semi sequel, it's not really technically a sequel, but kind of is. Fade to Black was on PlayStation and later
Fade to
ported to
Black.
Dreamcast actually,
Right.
unofficially.
Right.
But yeah,
Yes. Anyway, yeah, no, so it's had its presence on Sega consoles in one way, shape, or form, but not
mm,
this specific game, I don't believe. But what they did add 5 to 6 additional cutscenes. It has stretched out sprites for some of them, and then also it added missing shaking ground on level 2. I guess that was not on the Mac version, but they put it into this one. I don't know what CDDA means, but that soundtrack from Mega CD is on here, so it's arguably a better soundtrack, maybe? I don't know. Um, and then they did add in the voices from the Sega CD, Mega CD. They have an exclusive to it now. There are some exclusives for the Saturn version, such as a resume game menu and also the controller screen where you can see the controls, how they're mapped on the controller. They have a picture of the Sega Saturn controller in there now.
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. And you do have three save state support, which in a game like this is crucial because when you're platforming and you don't make a jump and you have to start all over. I've been playing through Blackthorn on the Blizzard Arcade collection that they
Oh yeah.
released forever ago, like the enhanced version or whatever. I save scum like a mofo in that because it is a hard game.
Yeah.
And there are some times where it's like, oh, I apparently didn't hit A fast enough, and instead of jumping across the chasm, running and jumping across the chasm, I just fell straight down
Yeah.
like a lead brick.
Yeah.
So
I
save states are a big deal in this, and then it does have one in-game save in the RAM of it. So
yeah.
flashback.
Because yeah, you could save in the original version, but it was literally they had special save points which were
Mm,
very few and far between, which you could go back
right.
to the way it's set up. You could go back to in the levels, but yeah, I actually finished this for the very first time playing on my Evercade, which I did have next to me, and it's not there anymore. Never
Nice.
mind. But yeah, I have a little Evercade handheld thing, and that has state saves on it, and that's the first time I've ever actually managed to complete this game was on that. And it's a
Okay.
genuinely good game. It still holds up. It's just tough as nails. It's a
What
tough.
was it on?
Yeah, so
What was everything it was released
it
on?
was originally released on Amiga, and then it was on it
Okay.
was on Mega Drive, Genesis, Super Nintendo, Mac, Windows. Um, then it was
Oh, it
ported
was
to
on.
Dreamcast at one point. Actually, that was a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Um, and I don't think it was on PlayStation or Saturn at that time.
Okay, but it
Um,
was on Genesis. That's where I got confused, I think. I
yeah,
thought it was not.
which
Okay, cool.
I always plug them. The Console Wars guys do a really good comparison between the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive Genesis version, and yeah, the Mega Drive version is really good. Like compared to the Super Nintendo one, there's stuff that's just missing from the Super Nintendo one for some reason.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, but cool. I'm happy to see this getting some love.
Yeah, I might try to throw it on my satiator or something because I think like I've definitely enjoyed what I've played of Blackthorn, but I've been going through that so slowly.
Mm.
Um, I think I just have to let me try that again. I think I would just have to commit and sit down with this. Is it a long game? Do we know? I guess I could type
It's
in how long to
it's
beat
not
Flashback.
super long. It depends because it's quite tough because it's basically one hit kill a lot of the time.
Oh,
Actually, I think no.
yikes.
Wait, it's not. Certain
Uh,
things are one hit kill on it, but yeah, it's
According to howlongtobeat.com, it says main story 6 hours, completionist 8.5. So there you go.
there you go. Yeah, that sounds longer than it was that it took me, but I don't know.
I don't know. I
Don't
would definitely
know.
take my time and probably look up a guide because Blackthorn. I've not used a guide, but I have like save scummed, and then I think I've looked at a guide to remember where I was just because it had been
Yeah,
so long at some points. But you know,
I ended up looking at a couple of guides for this because there's a few levels where the path split and you get an option of where do you want to go, but it's
mm,
surprisingly tricky to do certain jumps. And I was like, am I going the wrong way? Am I missing something here? Um,
right.
so yeah, a guide is handy for this, but you might be able to work your way
Oh,
through it.
that's what I did. Or well, I don't know. I'm just thinking about Blackthorn, but that does sound cool. It sounds like a good game overall. But
Mm.
Blackthorn, the enhanced edition on the Blizzard collection, it has a map and you can see where you've been and everything. I
Oh,
don't
that's quite handy.
know that there even is a map in the original game, which I feel is impossible. But yeah.
Yeah,
So do you remember if there's a map in this that you use?
I
Like
cannot
in game
remember.
map?
I don't think there is. From
Hmm.
memory, I mean, I played it last year and I can't remember now.
Gotcha.
I don't think there is, but the levels I think are they're they're less open than in Blackthorn. So from memory, in Blackthorn, you double back on yourself a lot more than you do in Flashback.
Oh, then I will
Flashback,
definitely play this.
yeah. There's
Because
one.
yeah,
There
half of
is
Blackthorn is like it's like a almost Metroidvania game. I feel like it's not as
okay.
massive of a
Yeah.
Metroid game, but yeah.
So no, Flashback set across I want to say 4 or 5 different level slash environments.
Hmm.
One of the level environments areas, you're kind of like on I want to say like a space station or a city, and you go on this metro tube thing. And you go to different areas. That's more like a Metroidvania place because you do double backing yourself a lot with that level. But the other levels
Okay.
generally you don't so much. You might have to go back a couple of times, but it's not Metroidvania big. So it's not too bad.
Okay, cool. What did you play it on?
I played it on the Evercade, but
Oh, yeah, you said
I
that.
have
Okay,
played it
right.
on the Mega Drive as well. Uh, have I played anything else? I own it on the Dreamcast, but I haven't played that version. Uh, but
Gotcha.
yeah, it's good. Good game.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
And keeping up with the port theme, um, so for those who may or may not know, Half-Life was originally going to be developed for the Dreamcast. That was cancelled at the last minute, but the game was mostly finished. So a few years ago, someone actually basically managed to finish the game or get it so it works
Oh, can I
properly on the
jump in?
Dreamcast. Yeah.
Probably you probably know this if you're listening and watching this podcast, but it was so close to being done that the strategy guide actually got shipped to retailers.
Oh yeah, I remember
The
that.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
it is possible to buy a legitimate official Dreamcast version Half-Life strategy guide.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. Um, but basically, so yeah, that was ported a while ago. There is now new ports of Half-Life Decay and Half-Life Uplink. So if you don't know about them, yeah, basically Half-Life Decay was a expansion, which oh yeah, sorry, I'm just double checking my notes to make sure I've got this the right way around. So yeah, Half-Life Decay was actually designed as a two-player co-op mode for the game. Um,
On the
and
PS2 version, I believe.
yes, it was on the PS2. I think it was on PC version as well, wasn't it?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I guarantee you it is in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but it was actually for the PlayStation 2. They actually created it for that, and they have ported it to the Dreamcast, but it's only single player. They had to actually remove that too because the only way to get two player was via an uplink cable, and I think it would be a lot of work for these. These are basically indie developers working on this, so they've made it single player, but they've changed the way the game plays a little bit so that it's not reliant on co-op, which is good. So you can have a full single player experience. And then Uplink was actually a special demo version of Half-Life, which was released on PC originally. And it includes a lot of the similar sort of settings and locations and enemies that are in the final game. But the lot of scenarios were actually removed from the final version of the game. So it's almost like its own unique Half-Life experience in a way. I've heard it's quite a short game because it was just basically a demo. But that's pretty cool though that you can play that now as well. And both of these games they've been ported or created using I guess assets like graphics and stuff that are designed to reduce the RAM overload on the Dreamcast, so they actually are more efficient, which is really good. And yeah, pretty exciting. I did actually want to try and download and play these, but I haven't had time to do it. So maybe by the next episode, I will do that and just give an update and let you guys know how it plays. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to play these. Scotty, what are you
If I
doing?
hold my mouth open like this, I can see better.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, Half-Life. Everybody knows it, and now another thing got ported to Dreamcast. So
Yeah,
it could have been pulled off, but
yeah,
development time, and then Dreamcast got canceled, et cetera, et cetera.
yeah. It's pretty bit of a shame, but yeah, we still get to play it though. That's fine.
We get it now. There's never been a
Yeah,
better time, to quote Vinny Caravella. Never been a
cool.
better time for gaming.
So that's it for the news, Scotty.
Yeah,
Unless there's anything else
how
you want
about that?
to add to us.
My neck hurts because I keep having to look through the hole in this stupid mask, so I'm not sure if this is going to last the whole episode.
Okay, well, we are about to go into our featured topic, so maybe you can hold
The
out just for the start of
spookiest
that.
game of the season!
Yes, we're going to be talking about a game that is synonymous with Halloween, a Sega game that's synonymous with Halloween. But what is it? We will find out in a moment. Yeah, Scotty. So, how are we going to reveal this beautiful game?
Uh, well, it came out on October 31st of 2000. Is that correct? Is that
Yes, that
correct?
is correct.
Oh, if
Yeah.
you were nodding, I sure didn't see it, so
Yes.
I
Yeah,
need
that is
vocal
correct.
confirmation. Oh shit, my hair.
It looks beautiful, darling. Don't worry.
And the spookiest game, October 31st. That's right. You know it. You love it. What is it, Graham?
What is it indeed? It is. Hold on, let's just see if this works. It. Oh, it's so big. It's beyond the. It's Jet Set Radio. Yes. Woohoo! Jet Set Radio. So,
That's my
okay.
line.
What a
Jet
twist.
Set Radio.
Yeah, what you might be thinking, what's going on? But yeah, as Scotty said, Jet Set Radio in America at least was released on October 31st. And I've actually triple checked this now online because I thought that's crazy. Why would they release a game on Halloween? But apparently it's true. Although some retail outlets actually sold it on the 30th because a lot of retail places got it a day early. In preparation for the official launch day. But yeah, officially it was launched on October 31st in 2000, which is really good. So yes, the discussion today, we are rolling onto the streets of Tokyo with one of the Dreamcast's most iconic titles, Jet Set Radio. So yeah, very spooky game, Scotty. Are you scared?
That's right.
Are you?
I'm frightened. That's why I had to put on my hoodie because I'm so scared. I need the comfort of this official, put me on the big if I'm not already,
Oh,
the official Jet Set Radio hoodie. This was given to me by SEGA, actually.
that's really
It's
cool.
a gray
What?
hoodie, emblem, neon
Nice.
green on the inside of the hood, and then I'm going to have to tilt my camera down maybe a little bit. Actually, no, it might be all right. Can you see Beat on the back there?
Oh,
at all?
very faintly. Yeah, like that's quite.
Do I have to get closer?
It's more the color and the light, I guess. It's
Oh,
very.
sure, right, yeah.
Is it like a reddy
Is
orangey
this what it
color?
feels like to be a webcam girl? Because I'm sticking my ass as close to the camera as I possibly can.
It's probably slightly inappropriate, but
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, yeah, because it's an orange stencil on a gray hoodie. So, but just trust me when I say it's beat.
yep.
So, no, I did get this from Sega when Jet Set Radio HD was released. They sent a couple of them to Sega addicts, believe it or not. So,
Oh, that's really
the
cool.
claws are
Wow.
coming off because I can't do anything. Sorry. And because the claws are coming off because we're talking about the Jet Set Radio, and I am DJ Professor Carnivore here to tell you about it. So let's do it.
Man, yeah, let's do this. So, yeah, as Scotty said, the game was released in 2000. It was released earlier in the year. I actually don't have the notes of when it was released in Japan and Europe. I should have added that to notes, but I
can
think it
tell
was.
you. I can look it up.
Yeah,
Keep
good,
talking.
Scotty. You can look it up. If you don't know about it, it is an action platform game with a bit of a twist because you're on rollerblades and you tag graffiti. That's like the main thing you do. You're not really fighting things. It's set in a fictional version of Tokyo To. It's also the first major game that uses cell shading graphics to make it look like a cartoon. It was quite synonymous with having an amazing licensed soundtrack that blends in with the gameplay really well. And also, it's one of the earliest versions or known games to actually have user-generated content because you could create your own custom graffiti, upload it to SegaNet, and then download it to your game. So I could download Scotty's graffiti if I wanted to, for example, which is
Right.
really cool.
I have the release dates here as well if you want them.
Yes, please.
So yeah, as we mentioned, U.S. North America, October 31st. Europe, it was November 24th, and then Japan, uh, June 29th.
Wow.
And
So yeah,
all of 2000, all of 2000. So I don't
yeah.
know why America got it first, and then you guys, and then Japan a whole 8 months later. Sheesh,
Wait,
that's crazy.
no, Japan was
But yeah,
first.
oh man, what's that?
Japan was first, yeah.
You're right. I'm an idiot. Reverse everything I just said. It's only 4 months apart, and then yeah, this does strike me more as a summer release game though, so that makes a little more sense for
Yeah,
Japan than
but
October and November. But
I,
well,
I
October
know
and November for sales makes sense,
I
I
know
guess.
there were reasons why the North American version was delayed and possibly the PAL version, but we can get onto that a bit later, I guess.
Oh, sure.
Do actually have some notes about that, which is good. But yeah, I was going to say something. I'm now completely forgotten what I was going to say. But yeah, if you don't know,
Um,
Jet Set Radio is a cel-shaded action game built around graffiti tagging, skating, resisting authoritarian control in Tokyo To. And it is also seen as Sega's attempt to capture late 90s Japanese street culture, youth rebellion, anti-corporate themes. So a bit of, I wouldn't say it's political as such, but they tried to capture that audience that they were trying to go for at the time, which is really cool. There's a few developer quotes as well from Mayoshi Kikuchi. Sorry, very bad. He's the director of Smile Bit, who's the development studio behind this, and Scotty's just taken off his wig, his dino wig.
I want to throw the hood on.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, he's putting the wig back on. Good, over the hood. But the director of Smile Bit said, "We wanted to create a game that expressed the energy of the streets, music, graffiti, skating, and give players a feeling of freedom against authority." And in the Sega of America press kit, it said, "Jet Grind Radio," which is what it's known as in America. "Jet Grind Radio is more than a game. It's a cultural statement. Style over conformity, freedom over control." Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Scotty's holding up his copy of the game, and I've got my 2 copies, which are both POW for some reason.
I think I still. Do we want to bring up the box art now since we're holding it all up?
I think we can get onto that later, maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, cool. So let's get to kick this off, kick this conversation off. Scotty, when did you first hear about the game, or see the game, or play the game? Like, when did this come to your knowledge?
The answer to that, magazine, Christmas.
Sweet.
So yeah. No, I got this the same Christmas that I got Shenmue.
Oh,
So being a dumb 16-year-old, I played a lot of Jet Grind, and barely any Shenmue. I did not. You couldn't have picked a more opposite ends of the spectrum of 2 games to get at the same time, probably. Um, I didn't care about Shenmue. I didn't understand it. So yeah, whatever that Christmas was, 2000, like it said, played the crap out of Jet Grind. It's Jet Set. I'm never gonna call it Jet Grind. Screw that. And was that the only question you asked, where I heard of it, when I played it, and what
yeah.
else?
But also, I guess, yeah. What did you think of it at the time? I guess it sounds like you liked it, because you say you played that a lot. But
Yeah, I mean, hot off the heels of like playing Tony Hawk a bunch and stuff, this just was Tony Hawk, but with more character, like comic book kind of style, I thought. And everything I read about it, I was reading, Dreamcast official magazine, but they're like cell shading, cell shading, first one to do cell shading. I don't know what that is, but they're telling me it's cool. So that was the most striking thing. And Dragula was everywhere. So the American version had Rob Zombie's very own
hmm.
Dragula, and that was ridiculous. I think it no, there was a on one of the demo discs from ODM, official Dreamcast magazine, they had the music video for Jurassic 5's song that is in this game. I don't know if I saw that before this or not though, but yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
So that was my impression. I was ready. I knew about it and I was ready for it, and I enjoyed it when I played it.
Excellent.
So, what about you?
So yeah, I guess for me, it was originally in the official Sega Dreamcast magazine. I first heard about it. I think they did have a demo disc which had either a video, or maybe the first level was as a demo that you could play or something.
Hmm.
And yeah, I thought it looked really cool. I can't remember. I don't think I got it as a present. I think I actually ended up buying it. So I bought it probably when it
Oh,
first came out, which would have been around November time in the UK. And yeah, I loved it. I was totally into it. Oh, because also in the 90s, I was a skater. I used to rollerblade. I used to love it.
oh, there you go. Yeah,
So this was totally my jam, basically. Really into it.
nice.
The music wise, this is not the music I would have normally listened to, but I really dug it. So I was like, this is great. This is a really good game.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I was loving it back then. Um, but yeah, so I mean, Scotty, have you been playing it at all recently, like for this show, or?
I have, and I forgot that I also rollerbladed as a kid. I had the dumb big '90s rollerblades, but also got into what was called aggressive inline, and I
Yeah,
was not amazing, but I could, I'd grind a rail and
I
go into a half pipe and follow my butt and stuff.
I
So yeah.
I never really did much grinding. I did a little bit of grinding, but not much. But I like going on ramps and just jumping and trying to do
Hmm.
spins and stuff. So that was what I used to like doing. It was great.
Well,
And
that's fine. I'll handle
yeah,
the street style. You handle the vert style, is what it
word.
sounds like. Um, oh, I can do that too. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was really
Oh
bad.
man.
Anyway, what was the question? Oh, if I played this recently. Yep,
Yeah.
sorry. Well, as fate would have it, I've played it basically every year since 2015 for the Dreamcast Marathon because it's always in there. We removed it one year without telling anyone because the controls have not aged well.
Mm,
And I very much have a love-hate relationship with this game because of that, because it really has the most style. I still argue to this day, I would die on this hill, that nothing that the Jet Set Radio captures Dreamcast and Sega better than any other game in the library. Like at that time, nothing screams Dreamcast more than this game, in my opinion.
mm.
What do you think about that, Graham?
Yeah, I basically kind of agree with that. Yeah. Uh,
All right.
yeah.
Good call.
I
No, but
think
it
we
does because it's like the poppy, like in your face, but not being aggressive, but it's still like bright and vibrant and loud.
yeah,
And but it's still just like there to have a good time and also to tell you why, I guess.
yeah.
So yeah, the do I want to get into how I played it or is that later on or what do you think?
We can talk about that a bit later on, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's.
But
I think
yes.
to go through some people who may not have played the game or people who are interested. I think we could discuss a little bit about how the game is structured and stuff. So, I mean, kicking off with
Hmm.
like presentation and like the story and stuff. So, we sort of touched upon it before, but the story is framed like from the aspects of DJ Professor K. He's a pirate radio broadcaster. He kind of narrates the game basically,
That's right.
telling
He's
you
the
what's going on.
storyteller.
Yep.
And he inspired my costume for this Halloween. DJ Professor Carnivore. Just a reminder, DJ Professor Carnivore.
And yeah, the game, most of the story between levels and stuff is told in the kind of comic book style with comic panels basically in his voiceover. So it's not like full animated cutscenes per se.
Yeah.
Um,
This was
though,
also before every single game did a comic book style narration
yeah,
or movie or what have you.
yeah. And you do get sort of kind of semi cutscenes where characters introduce themselves to you, and but it's very limited. They kind of just dance on the spot and text appears below them going, hey, help. Yeah. Also just, yeah, on the video right now, it's just me screwing up being terrible because I hadn't played the game for about 20 years or something. um, um, and yeah, I guess other presentation stuff. The game HUD is surprisingly light. You know how lots of games would have lots of stuff on the screen and stuff. This is very light. It just shows you the timer, your health, and the amount of spray cans you have and stuff. And that's pretty much it, really. And your points as well. Yeah, so it's pretty minimal on the HUD, and yeah, I guess there's not much else to really say about the presentation, unless you got anything you want to say about the presentation.
Yeah, you said the HUD is minimal, and I think that this is one of the more popular franchises that Sega has not touched, but they acknowledge. So I feel like
Mm,
most people know what Jet Set is at this point.
yeah,
So nothing more to say about the visuals.
cool. I mean, we talk about, I guess, a little bit about graphics. I guess in a way, we mentioned about the cell shading.
Yeah.
That's very colourful. Um, like one thing, I don't know if you found this as well when you were replaying it, but the pop up and draw distance hasn't aged brilliantly, I guess.
I don't how so? I don't think it affected me that much.
Okay, well, I noticed on certain levels there would be quite a distinct amount of pop up, basically.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but I guess so. I don't know if you can see there that in the actually let's rewind there. You can see, if you look to the left, you can see the little banners just popping up as you go along.
Oh, well, what did you
It's
play on though?
Dreamcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
I played the HD re-release.
Ah, see, yeah, okay, so yeah, generally it's fine. It doesn't actually break the game or anything. It's just I
Hmm.
could notice like the cones are just appearing in front of you. Um, but I guess maybe that's like a technical limitation of the Dreamcast at the time.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, um, I think they did a really good job on the characters and stuff as well. The designs, every character's designed uniquely. It's like almost iconic.
Yes. Everybody does have their own beat. actually never played as Beat because he was the most boring to me, or I just didn't care about him, I guess, or maybe I was just tired of seeing him. But like I was always partial to actually not joking, Graham, the in-game character
Oh yeah.
Graham.
Is it
Because he
Garam?
was
Is that how it's pronounced?
maybe but because he had his power gauge was higher, so when I
Mm,
was dealing with the cops a lot, he would last longer. His health was more sustainable.
yeah.
I would play as either Graham Cube or oh crap, I can't remember the other one. And two girls and Graham was basically what I was.
There's Mew,
Mew, that was
and
it. Mew and Cube and Graham. Those were
okay,
my
yeah,
guys. People, my people.
yeah,
Yep.
cool.
So, what about who did you normally play as?
So yeah, I remember back in the day I played a lot as Gum, um,
Mm-hmm.
but when I played this time, I could not get on with her at all. Like her
Yeah.
life was so low, she could hardly hold
Right.
any cans. She had like the smallest amount of spray cans she could hold out of the main
Mm,
characters. Um,
interesting.
and I found that her speed and stuff wasn't much better, and the control wasn't much better than the other characters. So I ended up
Yeah.
mixing. So I used Garam for a bit. I used Yo-Yo for a bit. I used Beat for a bit actually as well. Tab at the start of the game I used quite a lot, which I'd never really used him
Right.
before. And then later in the game it was Mew. I think I used the most. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of characters you can unlock in this game, which is really good. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, aside from like quite unique graphics, especially for its time, it was, as we mentioned before, synonymous with the amazing soundtrack that it had,
Yep.
where it sort of kind of blends J-pop, hip hop, funk, electronic, and some experimental music, um, and
House music, if you
yeah, a
will.
bit of house music, and
They're probably
Hideki
all
Nag.
completely different genres by today's standards, but
Oh,
whatever.
oh yeah. Hideki Naganuma is
Naganuma, Hideki
he's
Naganuma.
like synonymous with this game, and yeah, I think it's made a name for him really, especially among Sega fans. And um, yeah, there's actually, we can touch upon this a bit more, but there's definitely some regional differences with the soundtracks. So
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned Rob Zombie was in the American version, but it was not in the UK version, which for some reason in my head, I remember him being in the UK version, but he wasn't. In my game I was
Hmm.
playing, I was like, he's not in here. I even went through the soundtrack listing and I was like, nope, it's not there. Um,
Right.
um, yeah, and it's kind of interesting how they use DJ Professor K to sort of tie I guess, the story, the narrative, and the music all together. I thought that
Yes.
was a pretty cool way to do that.
You get
Yeah.
absorbed by the world very easily of Jet Set.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that's thanks to the style.
Yeah. So in terms of gameplay, just yeah, like so as you can sort of see on the screen, the core aspects of the game is skating, you're tagging graffiti, you're also invading police, and it's not just normal police people. There's like a crazy chief of
Huh.
police with a massive gun,
Yep.
helicopters, dogs. Then you get like hitmen basically later on, or assassins.
Snipers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's snipers. It
People
really,
with whips for no reason, which makes
yeah,
no sense.
God,
Uh,
the whip guys.
the uh, the only way, all of these being the only way to deal with kids on roller skates, spraying graffiti. So, yeah.
It's absolutely mental, the gameplay. But when you go to spray graffiti, you use your analog stick to make the motions. Basically, it pops almost like I want to say, it's not the right way of saying it, I guess, but
QuickTime or
like a
kind
quick
of
time event. Yeah,
QuickTime
that's probably the
event.
best. I was about to say
Yeah.
like one of those dance games or like beat games,
It's
but
my
no.
favorite part of the game, to be honest. I think it's the coolest thing, and I think that's why I thought the sequel was a downgrade because you didn't do that. You
Yeah,
just hit a button from there.
because I think some people found it quite difficult, so they like the sequel. But yeah, I think this is one of
Yeah,
my favorite aspects is the fact that you
get
kind
good.
of do spray, you do make the spray. Oh, God.
Uh-huh.
Oh man. But it's also kind of got the action platforming elements to it. So there's
Right.
moments in the game which sorry, I'm just
You
looking
do
at my
that?
terrible gameplay of
Yep.
I've just fell down. I definitely pressed jump at that point and it did not register on my controller and I just fell
Oh,
off
we
the
can
thing.
talk about that,
We
sir.
are
Don't
we
worry.
are going to talk about that for sure.
Yep.
Um,
We're
yeah.
professional gamers, by the way, folks, just so we want to preface everything with that.
Jeez.
I mean, look at me. I'm a professional gamer.
Well, what are we talking about? Oh yeah. Action. Yeah, it's kind of action platforming elements because there is actually a lot of platforming in the game in a way, and it's kind of got the arcadey vibe to it with the timer, which just gives you a bit of pressure. The levels are quite smallish to begin with, at least, and they kind of got the arcade scoring as well to the game. But
I
yeah,
thought it did do that well. Oh, sorry.
no. What was you gonna say?
I forgot about that until you mentioned it. I thought it did do that well, how the levels do start small, but then they get bigger because you are in a city and you're in different parts of different
Yeah.
cities. And you can go to in the starter version of the levels where you would kind of go to the end of a street and it would say, "Oh, exit," and then you'd go back to the garage. The level would just be done, whether or not you were finished with it, with the
Mm.
goals or not. But then eventually what would have been exits, those are different parts of the same bigger city. So I thought it expanded upon itself pretty
Yeah.
seamlessly in that regard.
I have to admit, I completely forgot about that. So when I was replaying it and we got to
Yeah,
the later levels and we go to like the next area, it's like, oh wow, that's that. Yeah, my brain was like, oh yeah, these are connected. It's one city.
it's the same reason I prefer Sonic Adventure 1 over 2 because you
Yes,
feel like the world that you're in is a living, breathing area, living, breathing
exactly.
world.
Yes,
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. Yeah, but yeah, I was very impressed as well because the way some of the areas connect to each other was actually really well done.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's not like Grand Theft Auto or, I don't know, a big open world game where you've got this whole city to explore. The way they do it, they kind of connect the levels together, so it kind of loads into the next bit. But there's the loading time is amazing. I found it was very quick between the different areas, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm trying to remember if I did that. No, but I remember it wasn't slow enough that it was jarring.
yeah. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, so and also gameplay wise, you do, and we sort of touched upon it. The characters all have different stats, so they do have different amounts of energy, different amounts of spray cans they can carry, which does make a big difference to the strategy in the game.
Yep.
So yeah, because that's the other thing. You basically, sorry, I should have mentioned this. The whole point of the game is you are spraying graffiti tags on walls and stuff, and sometimes objects. But there's a certain number you have to spray to finish the level. So there is a strategy to it. So you kind of got to work out the best route, the best way to get to them, because you're not limited on spray cans as such because they do regenerate, but you can only hold a certain amount at a time. And the more you spray paint, the more aggressive the police or the enemies are in the level. So at the start of the level, you might have one like a couple of cops running around after you. Then like they'll call in the chief of police, or they'll call in a helicopter or something, or these assassin guys to come along. So it really ramps up the difficulty, and that's one thing I loved about this game was firstly trying to remember where all the spray things are, and then looking at the map and getting confused by the map because the map's not that detailed. It's a bit confusing sometimes.
No, it's
Um,
pretty bare bones.
yeah.
Pretty bad.
But once you work it all out, you can kind of work out the best way to tackle the levels and stuff. I mean, I had a strategy. There's a certain strategy you went with at all, Scotty, when you're playing the game?
I mean, it depended on the type of level you were on, really. But what do you mean by? Maybe tell me yours, and I'll
Okay,
understand better what you mean.
so the way the enemy or the police or whoever, the authorities, they ramp up their attacks on you is dependent on how many graffitis you finish tagging, not the size of them per se. So you do get lots of
Right.
small ones which you just literally press the spray button and it will spray
Oh,
it. There's some that you
okay.
have to
Yeah.
stand there and do the actions, and there's some that are very very big and you've got to do lots of actions. So I always leave the single spray ones to basically to the very end, unless they are really far away from like some of the other spray things. So
Mm-hmm.
I would often go for the biggest spray areas first,
Mm-hmm.
and then after a couple of those, maybe three of those, then the police would start to ramp up. But by the end of it, when you've got like attack helicopters after you and stuff, I'm just going by just doing the single spray things and stuff, so I'm not getting shot.
Mm.
Because you
Okay.
are basically a sitting duck trying to spray all this stuff, and if you've got like people throwing smoke bombs at you and stuff like that, you do get like
Right.
screwed over. Although on this particular level we're watching right now, The final one I always do is across that bridge, because they can't. It's very hard for them to get the smoke across to you.
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
the last one I always do on this level.
And that one's two. It's two large graffitis combined, so
Yeah.
it's maybe the biggest one in the game. I don't know, but oh, see, I
Um,
always tried to go across like this, and I learned this is the harder way.
yeah,
You're
it's the
using the
harder way.
crane
I
that's
don't know why I
crossing
did it
over,
this
and
way. I think I screwed this up. There we go.
it's
I'm
so
gonna.
much
Oh, wait a
easier
minute.
to. Oh my gosh, I don't know how you did that. Oh, and then you almost biffed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Man.
a platform right over there, like that you're looking at right now, and that's
Yeah,
the
that's
easier way
the
to
way I
go.
normally do. Kind of. In fact, I think I realised at this point I'd already done that one, and there's two I
Nice.
hadn't remembered about. So yeah, that's kind of why I screwed up on this one.
Gotcha.
Um,
So
but then,
now I understand what you were asking, though. Oh, go ahead.
okay, yeah. But also,
Uh,
depending on the character you are, you have to work out. I need this many spray cans, or this is how many spray cans I can hold. So yeah,
right, right.
um, yeah. Actually, let's go forward to a different level, because we've been looking at this one a while.
So in terms of my gameplay or my technique, I guess I would say, yours is very wise. I did the exact opposite. But this is why. I did all of the ones that were on the ground or the base level first, because the cops would try to get you and they'd be able to grab you when you were on that base level easier than, and cars would run you over, like just happened there to you. Um, so I would go for all the ones on the lower level of the map, and then that way I would have the bigger ones up higher, but unless it was helicopters or snipers, they couldn't get me up there, so I would leave those for last. So I would go for the small ones at first. Unless it was a
That's
level I was having trouble with, then I would maybe
yeah.
switch it up if it was something like that, like you were saying.
So yeah, I think yeah, I guess it just depends slightly on the level, because there were definitely some levels where they had some lower down ones which I would tackle before I do the rest of them. But generally,
Yep.
that was my rule of thumb: do the big ones first, then go around and try and do the smaller ones. Um,
I do remember at one point when I was better at the game, I would leave, knowing how many sprays one piece of art would take, I would leave the last one, and then I would like leave that in certain areas so that okay, I know that it's just like my last one will be the easiest to get. It's one spray on this giant one over here or something, you know.
yeah, yes, yeah, that's actually quite a good way to do it as well. Oh, and this video's frozen. There we go.
Why was the map red? I don't even remember that. There was like
So
a square of
that
red in the map.
oh, where was that? So that is the building that you can go into.
Oh, jeez.
So
Okay.
if you remember that.
That's not clear, but all right.
Yeah, see that. Yeah, the map is not easy to
No,
follow,
map's not good.
and then God help you when the maps completely open up and you've got all the like 5 different areas or whatever you
Yeah.
can go into. It gets very
Really feels
confusing.
like that was an afterthought.
Yeah, but yeah,
Especially the map is the worst. I know I don't want to just complain, but the map is the worst on the races because there are different types of styles of levels, and one of them is racing through the city, and the map is
oh
the most useless for that, especially when it's the biggest version of the level.
yeah. There was one I remember doing a race and following someone, and then they managed to get away from me, and I did not know where they went. So I was like, how did I get to this? And then it's like they
Yep.
just sprayed the tag, and I lost the race. I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
um, but yeah. I guess that's most of it for the gameplay and stuff, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
I think one thing we can talk about is the differences. So, something that's very unique about this game is there are technically okay. Well, actually, I was about to ask you a question, Scotty, but you've already read the outline, so you know the answer.
No, well, I can't read much right now, so I
Okay,
probably forgot. Go ahead.
technically, how many different versions are there of Jet Set Radio on the Dreamcast?
But oh, you mean like I have the NA version?
Yeah, yeah,
Is that the
but
question?
different. I guess games with different content. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, by default, I would say three because there's always Japanese, PAL, and North American. Um, but we did get the Game Boy version also. Color, no, Advance? Game Boy Advance, maybe?
There was
I
a Game Boy
forget
Advance
which.
version,
Yeah.
but if we specifically talk about just the Dreamcast,
Oh, sorry. Yep, you said just the Dreamcast. I didn't answer, so I'll say three.
there are four Jet
Bum,
Set
bum,
Radios on the. Dun,
bum.
dun, dun, what a twist! So yes, you are correct in
Bo-
that they do have the Japanese version. There is the American version. There is the PAL version. But there's also a re-release in Japan called Dela or Dela Jet Set Radio. And these aren't just, language changes and stuff. They've got level changes, they've got character changes, they've got soundtrack changes, artwork changes as well, but artwork's a bit different, I guess. But yeah, actually, if I bring up the different box arts, we can have a quick look at them.
De
So,
La Radio. It
so
sounds maybe Spanish or something.
yeah,
De La Radio.
yeah, I
De La
think that's
Jet
kind of,
Set.
yeah,
Sorry.
it sounds a bit Spanish. So you got the North American version, you got the PAL European version, which is the same in Australia as well. You get the original Japanese version, and then on a completely different
We're
website
looking
to
at the
go
cover
to.
art.
We're looking at the cover art right now. This is the D-Lad Jet Set Radio, which looks very similar to the normal Japanese one, but it's got gum on the front instead of beat. So beats on the original one, and D-Lad Jet Set Radio is gum. But yeah, there's various different versions. In fact, you can say there's 5 versions of the 3D game, because they've also got the HD releases on Xbox and PlayStation as well. So technically, because that also has soundtrack changes. But there's also the name differences. So in Japan and Europe, it was Jet Set Radio. In America, it was Jet Grind Radio. And then you also get the Japanese De La Jet Set Radio. So there's 3 different name changes.
Jet Set De La Jet Grind.
In fact, do you know why Jet Grind? It's called Jet Grind in America.
I do kind of. Can I reveal a secret?
Please do.
I'm starting to feel kind of crappy because I realize I'm trying to read everything without my glasses on, so I'm gonna have to shed the Raptor.
Da, 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 da.
Is that all right?
That's complete. But you don't have to let me into a secret for that. That's like you need to reveal a secret.
Gosh. Oh
Whoa,
my gosh.
it's Scotty under there.
Yeah.
Man.
Sorry, folks. I've got to break the illusion because I was actually starting to feel like crap trying to read things. I realize now. I was like, oh wait, it's because I don't have my glasses on.
Man,
I'm not going to risk my health for this podcast. Sorry, folks.
damn you.
Sorry, folks.
What kind of
From what I
DJ are you?
understand, I'm shitty. I can keep the claws on. I don't know what I'll do.
That's fine. You can keep the hair on, maybe. Yeah, there you go.
I can keep the hair on, maybe.
So Scotty now has his Jet Set Radio hoodie on, his Froggy hat, and his Professor Carnivore or Professor K hair wig thing on, which is really cool. But yeah,
Sure, thanks.
Nice.
No, I think
I like
Jet Grind Radio, wasn't that because of an airline that was called Jet Set something something?
So, well, my understanding is actually because of a radio brand in America called
Oh, well, there you go. That
called
makes
Jet
sense.
Set Satellite, I think it was called, but it was a radio station. So, Jet Set Radio, I don't know if they did come across any copyright infringement or anything, but I think Sega went, let's call it something different. Rollerblades Grind, Jet Grind Radio. Yeah, that would work.
Rollerblades Grind. Problem
Yep,
solved.
it's got some grinding. So yeah, I think they just want to avoid legal conflicts, basically. But yeah, so that's kind of the reason for the name change there. So yeah, there's, aside from the name changes, there's also the different ways you unlock the characters and different order of unlocking characters. There's also soundtrack changes, and America and the PAL versions had new stages as well. They actually added 2 new stages to the game, which we can get into a bit. And also the end credits are different as well. I don't know if you know that.
I don't think I
So-
did.
Actually, I do have a video about this. Actually, let's bring that up if I can. In the Japanese version, your character is going around the streets and spray painting, but it's interactive. So you get some partial control
Oh,
over.
that's cool.
And
I didn't
you
know that.
basically you spray the credits on the walls and stuff. So
Oh,
your character will do a
interesting.
spray, and it will actually have the credits of the game. But the American version and the PAL version, and then De La Jet Set Radio, they remove that. They just have the more basic ending with the credits appearing while your character's just skating around like normal. There's a tiny bit where it shows some of it.
I think the first interactive credits I experienced was Smash Brothers, and you could just shoot the names with a laser.
There, I don't know
Or
if you can see
something
that.
like
They
that.
are spraying. Yeah.
That's fine. I get
Yeah.
it. Judge
Cool.
Judy.
Yep. There's I did,
Um,
yeah, watched an episode of YouTube.
so
Yeah. So yeah, the key difference is in the original Japanese version, there was no grind city, which is the area with Cube and Combo coming to the American and PAL versions.
Combo is awesome. Those are characters, by the way, Cube and
Oh yeah,
Combo.
Cube.
Combo's
Sorry,
a
yeah,
ridiculous dude that has a boombox on his shoulder the
yeah,
whole time.
which is great. And yeah, Cube's she's actually one of my favorite characters. Actually, I really like playing as her.
Basically, Hot Topic in Jet Set form.
Yeah.
Well, since we were talking about the different versions of credits, can we talk about the different versions of the covers of the games? Because we kind of skimmed right past that. How
Oh well, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, we can go back to that.
you showed them, but we didn't describe them at all.
Ah,
That was
okay,
the
fair
thing.
enough. Apologies. That's probably what we should have done, especially for audio listeners. Let's do that.
That's okay.
Okay.
My favorite is honestly the Japanese, but I still really like the color contrast of the American because even though it does say Jet Grind, which is weird, but now in retrospect, it's kind of fun to have that different name entirely.
Mm,
Just showing of the times, but you've got it up there. I need to show mine. But it is just Beat and Gum standing there with the logo in front of them. It looks like Beat just sprayed it on to our faces, and then it's a
yeah.
purple background, so it contrasts well with the yellow and bright green logo
Yeah.
for the NA version. But yeah. And then did you have comments on that or you want to just keep going?
I quite agree with that.
Okay.
I
Tell me
do.
about the PAL version.
So the PAL version's a bit different. It's got beats on the front with a spray can, kind of spraying out what basically looks like a lightning bolt, um,
Yeah.
and Jet Set Radio kind of above it. And then you've got Professor K in a little, I guess, cutout comic
That's so weird
strip
that
area.
Professor K is there. I guess I've never looked at the PAL cover.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't really notice Professor K, and then when you really look at it, you're like, oh yeah. And the background's kind of different color, like different shades of
Light
blue,
blue. Yeah.
with some funky graffiti style art in the background. I quite like it because of the PAL Dreamcast boxes having a lot of blue on them. I do quite like that, so I do think it works well with the PAL version.
Mm,
The Japanese version, though, is wild.
I love it.
Yeah, it's kind of
It
just
is
like a
filled to the brim with different colors.
yeah. It does look like someone's taken lots of graffiti style stickers or something, just stuck them all
Yeah.
over something, and then you
Yep.
got
All over one spot.
and then you got Beat in black and like basically black outline but completely white of Beat holding a Jet Set
Mhm.
Radio can, sort of spraying, and then the logo in Japanese,
I
which
think
is
that
awesome.
captures the feel of the game the best out of all three of
Yeah,
them
I think
is
it
just
probably
absolute
does.
chaos with graffiti, and you are this one thing in the middle of it all.
Yeah,
Whereas the American is very much like, yeah, we're cool, we're in your face. And and the PAL version is like beats grinding by, there's the logo. I'm just cool, whatever, you know.
yeah, yeah.
And then De La Soul is like, or I keep saying De La Soul. What the heck is that? I'm gonna look that up later. Um, but De La Soul is a hip hop group. I don't know anything by them, but that's who I keep saying instead of De La Jet Set. I'm sorry. But yeah, the De La Jet Set is the exact same thing as the Japanese, but it's gum instead of beat in
Yeah,
oh no, she's not outlined in black though. She's outlined in red, it looked like.
yeah, slightly different colors. Is it exactly the same with all the graffiti? Actually, I think
They
it is
all
basically the
they
same.
they all match the style of the box though,
Yeah.
because with the Japanese and De La versions, there's a lot more reds and orange, and the
Mm.
color of the Dreamcast logo is just the top right corner of it with the Dreamcast swirl in white. The PAL version, like you said, a lot of blue in the background, but that
Mm.
matches that blue box, physically blue box. And then North American, it's a dark purple, kind of matches the dark, or not dark black, just the black
Yeah,
sideways logo on the side on
yeah,
the
and
right side of the
it
cover.
looks it kind of got the orangey, reddy, I guess arrows in the background as well on the top of the purple, which matches the Dreamcast swirl, but the color of
Right.
the Dreamcast swirl in America as well, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it does work really well. I like what they've done with it. Um,
hmm
yeah,
I still like the Japanese and De La Jet Set best,
yeah.
though, for sure.
I feel like the Daylight is the one I like the most. The way that gum is in the orangey color really pops for me. I really think that's
Go
really
back to
cool.
the Japanese real quick. Okay, they are spraying the same. The
Yeah,
white outline that's coming from their can is the same
yeah,
word or characters. I'm not sure. I can't read Japanese, so I'm not sure if they're Japanese characters or not.
I
Yep.
don't.
And we do
Yeah.
have to mention how the logo itself is, I feel like, iconic. The
Oh yeah.
R is like it's graffiti, but they also have the two wheels from what would be the rollerblades or roller skates. Like the bottom right of the R and then the
Oh
O.
yeah.
Obviously, the O of radio is
Mm.
they're both characterized as wheels. So,
Which I'd never
but
actually
yeah, I
picked
just
up
wanted
on.
to.
I never even thought about
What
that. Genuinely, never even.
graphic design is my passion. What can I
Wow,
say?
fantastic! It was really good.
Uh, yeah, I just wanted to mention the very different covers. Like
Yeah,
one of the most vastly different covers for a game, I feel, from region to region.
yeah. That's yeah. It's really cool. I think they all look really good. They're all iconic, and
Hmm.
I think you could. I think you could argue that any of them could be the best. But I do. I think I do agree with you. I think the Japanese, especially Daylight Jet Set Radio, is probably my favorite. Then I do like the European version though. But I guess I'm biased, and I also like the color
Yeah,
blue, as you can see by my wall in the background being blue.
yeah, right.
Yeah. So as mentioned, the Japanese version doesn't have the Grind City areas. So if you don't know about the Grind City, they're kind of based on America. So there was something. There's something I read about basically that.
That's why it's dark and brooding. Sorry.
Yeah, basically.
Just like Halloween.
Woohoo! Just like Halloween, baby. Okay, so yeah, this is what they say. There's two reasons. There's a couple of reasons why it was delayed in America, and technically the PAL reason as well. There was firstly it was something to do with they were worried about the cultural aspects of graffiti. So in Japan, graffiti was seen as kind of, I guess, more arty, also a bit rebellious, but kind of acceptable. It's more considered a form of artwork and expression. Whereas in America and Europe in particular, graffiti is seen as vandalism, basically. And there was a concern by Sega that, we are portraying graffiti as being a good thing, and maybe that
Right.
won't fly so well in America and Europe. So they tried to work out ways to, I guess, make it so that there wasn't so controversial. And they did actually change some aspects of the game for that.
Hmm.
So that's why the end credits are slightly different. Apparently, that's one of the genuine reasons why they chose to do.
That's when it's going to matter when you're done with the
Yeah,
game.
but there's also some other aspects which I can't really remember, and I don't really make sense from what I remember. But that they
Just like
also
Halloween.
just like
Nothing
Halloween,
makes sense.
nothing makes sense. But they also wanted to try and appeal more to Western audiences, so they actually added in these Grind City levels. So there's one which is based. This is meant to be based on the Bronx, which is the level we're sort of looking at now. And there's another one which is meant to be, is it Times Square? I always forget what it's called in America.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
enough.
Times Square. So yeah, kind of in the middle of the city, big buildings all around you, which, yeah, and in doing so, they changed the way the characters unlock in the game. So Cuban Combo, they are American basically in this game. Well, it's not actually technically America. They're just another city, but it's kind of based on America. But anyway, they are meant to be from this region, whereas in the Japanese version, Combo is unlocked quite early on in the game.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you
Interesting.
know that. I think he's like after Garmin Tab, who are the first two people you join. I think Combo is the next person you pick up from memory.
Sure.
And then Cube is a bit later on. So yeah, they are associated with these levels. But they also changed the order of all the other characters in the Western releases, which
Man,
if you
that's
go
so much
back
effort.
if you go back to the
Bless
original
you.
Japanese version, the characters actually match the stages they're on better. I was watching
Hmm.
there's a really good YouTube video on there. I'll try and find it later and put it in the description or something. But they sort of explain how the different characters actually work better in the Japanese version for the different levels they appear on.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's a lot of thought that sort of went into them originally, and they kind of just
Can you pause the
changed it.
video real quick?
Can I? Can I? I don't know if I can. Yes, we can.
Go back like 2 clicks. I love. I wish that I could be in this world to see the musical play adaptation Happy Trumpet
It's really good.
or Meteor Strikes. Yeah, I
Oh
I'd never
man.
noticed those before right now. Sorry. to completely derail us for
I have to
I
admit,
don't remember seeing any of those honestly when I was playing, but yeah.
I didn't notice any of these either. There was this level. There's a lot going on in it, and
Oh
I was
yeah,
more concentrated on just trying to finish it because it
very
was
much
actually
Times Square.
tough as balls level. So,
Yep, and you can fall from like 30 stories and then
yeah,
do it all over
I
again.
did that many times. It's freaking
Yep.
annoying.
Anyway, all right.
Anyway, yeah, I'm actually gonna have to raise these speed glasses because I'm actually struggling to see my notes, which is why I
Yay! We're
keep
not going to
pausing and
suffer for our
struggling
art.
along.
Sorry, folks.
The other, okay, so just to cover some of the other differences of the games.
Hmm.
The original Japanese version has basically mostly Japanese artists and experimental music and stuff, and
Right.
a handful of westernized, I guess, tunes. In America, they got rid of a lot of the Japanese songs and they added more Western songs. And they added Rob Zombie, as we mentioned a couple of times already, and some other stuff.
Yep.
Then the PAL release, though, so you might think at the moment you might be thinking the PAL release is the same as the American one. It's not. Basically, the PAL release kept the new levels from America. They got rid of Rob Zombie and some of the American acts, and they added some other new sort of Western songs, but they also brought back all the missing Japanese songs.
Gotcha.
So there are some people online who see the PAL release as probably one of the more authentic or more complete, especially in the soundtrack area.
Yep.
And then the Japanese release of Della Jet Set Radio to sort of make up for the fact that the original Japanese release is missing 2 levels and other things. The Della Jet Set Radio basically brings in those 2 new levels plus the PAL soundtrack, but then changes the voiceovers back to Japanese. So it's
Okay.
basically again, even though it's very similar to the PAL version, they've changed the audio, they've changed the language back to Japanese, so they are different games essentially again.
And it released 1 full year later.
Yeah. And then the HD version, you might think, oh, that's probably the same as the PAL version or the American version. Yes and no. Basically, they couldn't get the licensing of some of the songs again, so it's missing some of the soundtrack. So again, even though it's very close to the American release or the PAL release, the song's missing, so it's not exactly the same either. So yeah, it's crazy that there's basically 5 different versions of this game, 6 if you include the Game Boy Advance version. What's anything else? I'm trying to remember if there's any other differences. Some of the characters are named different in the Japanese version. I think Gum is called Biss or something like that. I can't remember.
What did you say?
Biss, BIS.
All right.
I think it's Gum who's called that. There's a few character name changes. So yeah, it's one of the most varied games basically out there. Yeah, there's a lot of differences you can go into. You can go in depth about them. But yeah, so I guess okay, just wrapping it up a little bit here. The lasting influence. I think it's fair to say the game kind of influenced a few other games after its release, especially the graphics department, because cell shading became quite popular after this. Like Wind Waker and some other games.
Literally called Cell Damage.
Oh yeah, the game Cell Damage.
Car combat game.
Yeah.
In cell shaded style. Where the hell are you going in this? Sorry, I was captured by the game.
Oh yeah, I lost control and ended up going into a sign and then skating through a sign.
Nice.
And then falling nearly to my death.
We're pro gamers, folks. Don't forget.
They've got the sequel Jet Set Radio Future. Some people say Splatoon was slightly influenced by this as well. There's Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, which we've spoken about on the show before, which is a spiritual successor in a way. For the PC re-release, there are mods out there which fans have managed to bring back some of the graffiti and soundtrack that were missing from the HD releases.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's another difference between the Japanese and the American version. Some of the graffiti completely changed. So yeah, not all the artwork's the same. Okay, so
why not?
What do you think of the game now? Let's move on to this bit. Unless there's anything else you want to touch on.
No, I do want to say I still remember playing as a kid that Dragula does not fit this game. It did not. It didn't feel like it fit this game.
Mm.
Everything else they have, I honestly don't remember the track by Cold, the band Cold, but the addition of Dragula, it's so out of place, and that's why it's so ridiculous. And
Yeah.
then also, we didn't. I don't think we mentioned this, but each of those bands, there's Rob Zombie graffiti in there. There's Jurassic 5 graffiti in the North American game as well.
Mm.
But yeah, hearing Dragula, it was cool because that was the only song I knew outside of this game. But other than that, it was very jarring to suddenly hear like "Yeah, I am the one" while you're like zooming around Tokyo spraying happy, colorful designs and stuff. Whereas, Jurassic 5 and the other ones, they fit fine in there, I think. I think it is a very hip hop, house, techno,
Mm.
drum and bass kind of game, but then you hear whatever genre Rob Zombie is, metal, I don't even know anymore. That was a little
Yeah.
jarring to me. But right now, though, I played this on my PS3. Then I hooked up my PlayStation TV, which is basically a Vita, to then see if that version worked. And then I also played it on my Vita. And then I popped in the Dreamcast version to try to remember how those controls feel on the
Mm.
Dreamcast. The HD version, in my opinion, is the way to go if you still have it. Unfortunately, it was delisted, and a lot of people speculate this and like we mentioned it in the Sega 75 year anniversary, whatever discussion, or 45. I can't even remember the number now to get it right. Whatever they say is right.
65, they say, but yeah, I don't believe it.
Right. This had the Sega Heritage 1951 emblem or something show up before the game starts on the HD version. And that is also part of there was Sega Bass Fishing, Sonic Adventure, and Knights,
Mhm.
and Crazy Taxi. I think they all
Yeah.
did those HD releases around the same time. So this was included in all of those were delisted. So a lot of people speculate, oh, maybe Sega's going to re-release a bunch more things or do their own streaming service or something crazy. Whatever it is, I think it's a shame because in my opinion the HD version is the way to go in that it has a movable camera with the right stick. You can use the right stick on a controller to rotate the camera. And so I found myself when I played on the PS3, that was just natural. Played on the
Mm.
Vita, that was natural to move the camera around. And then when I went to the Dreamcast, my thumb was hovering towards where there was no right stick.
Mm.
So what I dubbed Phantom Stick. I was encountering Phantom Stick while playing Jet Set on the original hardware, and I thought that was hilarious and also kind of sad. Like they definitely improved on it with the HD version,
Mm.
and it was also the HD version was also on 360 and PC. Um, for whatever reason, the PC version of it though has like 30 achievements, whereas the PS3 and 360 versions have just 10 achievements or
Oh.
trophies. I found out while
Mm.
digging into all of this, and oh, one thing I did do, I finally beat the tutorial and got that frickin' trophy. The tutorial is murder, and it's so generic. I don't know if the same tutorial is in the Dreamcast version, but an example of how vague it is, the first step will be like, hit up on the stick to go forward.
Oh.
Hold down the right trigger to dash. And then it's like, all right, there's some graffiti. Go over there and spray it by hitting L and whatever. And then it says, do 20, or at one point it says, skate around for a little bit and we'll go to the next objective. Skate around? So I did skate around and then I literally looked up a strategy guide. What you have to do is a lap around the main, it's the first like
Oh.
Shibuya area,
Skate around.
and
Okay.
so and then I did a lap and I was like, why did I never finish this tutorial? The last thing is do 30 tricks or do, is it, no, 50. Do a 50 combo, do 50 tricks like in a row for a combo. And I was like, how the hell do you do this? Because I cannot land
Oh.
things and
Yeah.
whatever. You find a circle in the Shibuya area where you start and like you grind on the rail, you jump off that billboard, land on another rail, jump over, land on the stairs, then you bounce off the billboard, and then you keep doing that circle. Um, and I will say that again, I have a love-hate relationship with this game because I love the style, I love the characters, I love how the story's told, I love the world that it's created, the levels themselves, but the controls, I I feel like I feel like so many times in this game when something happens and I screw up, I feel like 95% of the time it is not my fault.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree with that. That's one of the things I was gonna mention actually.
Yeah, like I know I recognize I'm not good at video games. I understand that, and I'm accepting that in my adult life, but it feels like if there was a hitbox or a grind box or something that somehow you miss a railing and instead you bump into a wall and you just fall dead weight, like you drop straight down, and it's so aggravating because this game is all about flow and style. And they want you to like play along. You're listening to the music, you're jamming, you're spraying things, you're scooting, you're going, scooting, you're skating, you're going, and then suddenly you smack into a wall that just destroys your momentum. It's kind of like
Yeah,
Sonic almost in a way that like suddenly there's an enemy and you get blasted and you feel like it's a cheap
yeah,
shot. Uh, but I wanted to label that, and I wanted to point out um, a fun fact that I learned uh, after all of that stuff is that you can still in the year 2025 you can still share graffiti on the Dreamcast thanks to the fan community,
that's so cool.
because I can you show my graffiti that I took a picture of and sent you? So I'll describe it as you're doing that. So you can make your own small, large, and extra large graffiti in the game. And when you do that, it's so cumbersome if you're using the controller because they'll have you use left to spray and then use the stick. But you can also type in some letters and you can have letters like on your graffiti, like spell out. I think it's no more than like 6 or 7 characters, if even that. I'm not sure, but I remember having such a hard time making graffiti on the Dreamcast version that I think I did one for each one to have a like a special. Oh, not that picture.
Why not? What's wrong with
That's
that
so
picture?
that's so bad. You can't even see what the colors are. Find the one that was right before that.
Okay,
Because you can there you go. You can make the small, medium, large. This is from my PS3 version. The small one is like a horribly done Sonic face zoomed in, like very blocky and goofy. So I think it's so bad that it's good. The middle one is SMO, which is kind of the initials I use for some games, even though it's not my real initials. But I made that and farted out some colors. That was a long time ago. But I made a Sega Spirit one, and it
yeah,
was a big one. So I put Spirit in letters, and then I drew the word Sega behind it and kind of did some outlines. And I legitimately enjoy that one. And I
that's
thought,
good.
man,
I like
maybe I
it.
can send this to Graham so he can use it in his game. And I tried to find a way. You cannot do that on the PS3, 360, or Vita version, but you can still, in the year 2025, download and share and upload your graffiti through the Dreamcast network, thanks to the fan community.
That's
And
so
you can
cool.
do it on the PC version. There's a
Oh,
thing on GitHub, a fan made, and I shared it with Graham too. We can put it in the show notes if we want to, but where you can actually share and make your graffiti in the PC, the Steam version of Jet Set HD, if you still have it. Um, but what you can, one thing that is ridiculous, and I meant to try it before this, on the Vita version, you have the camera on the Vita. It has its own camera that you can take pictures with. You can actually put photos into the game of Jet Set and make graffiti out of that also.
that is cool.
I didn't realize that until unfortunately playing it now, and I just didn't have a second to do it. So maybe I'll share it on social media if I give it a shot later or something. But hey guys, Future Scotty here, editing the episode, and let's go ahead and check out what I did to get us into this game on my Vita. So we got it here. Let's do some spraying, shall we? Up and down and all around, right? Oh, look at that. We're in Jet Set now. Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. Oh, they don't like it. And if we go back to the garage, you can see we are graffiti. So all I did was take a picture that I took from my Vita camera. This thing has a camera. Look at that. Video games. We made it. Finally, we made it into a Sega game. Anyway, let's get back to it. So I just thought it was hilarious after, and I was talking to our buddy TJ about like, you're the Vita fan, also the IT guy. Is there a way to adequately share graffiti? Because I made Sega Spirit graffiti. I want to give it to Graham because I thought you'd be playing the HD version. Um, now that I know you played the Dreamcast version, damn it, I could have sent it to you.
Yeah.
If I made it, I'd have to remake it in the Dreamcast version though, you know.
Right.
Um, but I think it's so hilarious that now the only way to send graffiti is the most advanced way possible on the PC version. You know, any PC is more advanced or can be than a console, and the oldest original version on the Dreamcast. You can still share
Yeah.
graffiti
I love that.
that way.
That's so cool.
So I thought that was hilarious.
That is, yeah.
Um, and one last thing I'll say,
Mhm.
having played Bomb Rush Cyberpunk kind of very lazily, casually for the past year,
Yeah.
that game does it is a world of difference, but such an evolution of this of Jet Set
Okay.
Radio. And I was actually getting into a discussion with someone saying that like it's not as innovative as Jet Set. I'm like, but dude, like the controls are so much smoother in Bomb Rush
Okay.
Cyberpunk. I know that's a current modern day game. You can actually control the tricks you do. The worlds are physically bigger. There's a deeper, kind of weirder story, but it's still fun. And the characters, I feel like the aesthetic is still there of Jet Set, but like quality of life stuff, the camera control, the lack of just stopping, like it's so much easier to keep your flow going in Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. So I implore any fan of Jet Set or Jet Set Future, play Bomb Rush Cyberpunk,
Yeah. I need to
please.
play it. I need to pick that up. I have still not done so. So yeah, need to get
That is
into
my 10-minute rant on why I like Jet Set.
it. So yeah, I mostly played the Dreamcast version of this for this show, basically. And I did play a little bit of the HD version just to, familiarize myself with those controls so I could talk about them a little bit. I basically, so I played and completed the PAL version of the game,
Okay.
which was really fun. And so I actually have captured the entire gameplay footage. I don't know if I will upload it as a playthrough because I didn't do very well. I die a lot in some of the stages. Oh yeah, I was playing a
How
bit of
long to beat? 7 hours. Do you think it took you that long?
I don't think it did actually. I think it took me
Maybe not. I mean, if
maybe
you
4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, if you know it well enough, especially the races, and if you know how to spam the boss battles, which are sometimes the most aggravating part of the game, in my opinion, when you have to spray the gang
Mm.
members' backs, but while you're getting knocked down. Apparently, main story 7 hours, main an extra 9.5. Completionist, that means all the graffiti souls, all the whatever else is 20 and a half hours, according to howlongtobeat.com.
Wow. Okay, I can probably picture that because some of them are really
Yeah.
hard to find and get. Um, so yeah, I actually haven't played this game properly since it was first launched. Back in
Oh,
2000s. It's
okay.
been like at least 20 years,
Every year
maybe
for
20.
me, baby.
So
Whoosh.
I remember playing the first level multiple times, just picking it up to play. When the HD version came out, I played that and maybe the next level, a few levels, you know. But to actually sit down and play this game properly, this is the first time since when it first launched. So yeah, it's been a good
Wow.
over 20 years, 25 years since I played it. So I was terrible at this game, basically.
Well, okay.
Really took me it took me a while to. Actually,
Understandable.
I want to point something out. Let's go back again.
Oh, he
Just
hit
sorry,
you
we'll just
midair,
watch this
didn't
little
he?
bit. This is so frustrating. You know what you say about how half the time when you die, it's
Wow.
not your fault. That's a perfect
What are the
example.
chances? What are the odds of that collision
Yeah.
happening?
So just for the audio listeners, basically, I'm trying to do a trick jumping over a gap in the sewers, and an enemy flies into me as I'm doing the jump. And I just fall into the water below because
It's the literal center of that room,
yeah,
and he somehow flew across when you jumped.
yeah. But yeah, so when I first started playing this game, I was really bad. I was screwing up so bad. I mean, I'm doing badly right now in this playthrough
Hmm.
video that you're looking at right now. But I got a lot better. The more I played, the better I got. And I got more used to the controls.
Hmm.
It's still tough in certain areas, and I was very surprised at how difficult it ramps up in the first three or four levels. So like
Yeah.
the very first level, you've got some cops after you, then you get the chief of police, which is a bit extreme, but it's quite a small level. You can do it quite easily. The next level, there's like they ramp it up from cops to tear gas, and the tear gas they fire from quite a distance. So that was quite intense
Right.
because they're everywhere. Then the next level, they send in the attack choppers. It's like and it's just like you're getting fired, like missiles firing at you and stuff. I was like, this is insane. Like,
Yep.
there's like no breathing room or to learn basically. But I
Right.
towards the, I just started to love it. Like, even I was getting, I think I sent you a message about me just being frustrated. But
Yeah.
after like an hour or two playing, I just started to fall in love with it again. Even though there are still frustrating bits, even though there are moments where I pressed jump and it didn't jump, or
Oh,
I
sure.
I
Well, I think
turn
it does. I think you jump further if you press it more intensely or hold it down. I think there is whatever that type of button or controls is called. You know what I mean? Like if you just tap the button, then you just do a little hop.
yeah,
But if you hold it down, then you'll do more of a jump or a bound or a leap.
yeah, yes, yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's
But you got to learn that.
you got to learn it. I also, so I don't know if it's just me, the way I play games and stuff these days, but I found I kept, every time I did a jump, I'd hold down up on the controller.
Yes.
And,
Yes. Here we go. I know exactly what
and,
you're going to say, but go
and
ahead.
more often than not, that would make me twitch to the side. So I completely missed the jump
Yep.
or something, even though I wanted to go
Yep.
straight. So it
Can
was
I
more basically,
comment on that before you run away from it? Oh, you're
yeah, go
about to
for it.
lose your mind, though. Go ahead.
I was about to say that basically it wasn't until the nearly the end of the game I realized if I don't press forward on the control stick and just press jump, I will go straight. I'll go directly
Oh,
straight and it'll be perfect.
new to
So
me. There you go.
yeah,
I'm yeah, I want to comment on that though because I mentioned the tutorial, the final thing is a 50 trick combo. And there's a part where in the first level where there's a railing and then like some sort of statue in between the railing and the next one. And so you have to jump, but you're still going straight. So I was like, how am I just twitching to the right a little bit, just easing to the left a little bit when I all I'm doing is holding up on the analog stick. So for that one part, I never learned this that you just shouldn't hold up. But for that one part, I would jump and then switch to the D-pad because I'm like, there's an only an up button on the D-pad. I'm gonna hold up while I'm grinding forward. So in my brain, that
oh,
helped me.
that I
But
mean that
yeah, like
makes
you said,
sense.
it's so specific. And Graham does not complain much, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone. But he did message me in Discord, maybe right when he started playing this, and he's saying you said something like, "I do not remember the game being this twitchy" or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, the controls are so like there were quite a few jumps I'd like go to aim for a grind and suddenly just be off to the side and just falling in the water or falling off a ledge or something. I'm like, that's just like, oh my god, I did not remember it being so awkward to play. Um,
Right.
but yeah, I got used to the controls towards the end. There's still bits where it was a bit twitchy and a bit hard to do some of the jumps. I will say the American levels, the ones that, well, I call them the American levels, the Grind City areas, the one in Times Square especially was, I think,
Um,
not very well designed in that.
nope. I'm not a fan of that one.
It's because, so for most of the levels, there are elements of, going vertically, but also there's a flow to it. So you can easily sort of go around and, you know, find a pattern to go through. That level was the most
Hmm.
platformy level out of all of them. Like I
Oh
felt like
yeah.
I was playing in a
They
platform game. You
yeah.
got to go up. You got to use those elevators to like go
Yeah.
up to the top of the buildings, and then they've got the wires to go across. But also because it's so vertical, I couldn't actually see a lot of the
Mm.
graffiti to do, and because it's on the Dreamcast, I couldn't move the camera around. Um, so that was tricky. Also, on the note of the camera, it was just stupid that the spray graffiti button is the reset camera button as well.
Yeah.
So
They didn't
yeah,
think
if you
that through.
tap L, your camera will switch behind you, but it also sprays graffiti. Which, for most of the time it works, but especially on those boss battles where you're trying to spray the
That's
backs of the enemies,
yep.
I'd be right behind them thinking, right, I'm in line with them, I'm gonna spray, and suddenly the camera will reset and it'll be like I'll be
Hmm.
facing the wrong way now.
Centers. Yeah.
I was like,
Right.
oh my god.
Yeah.
It's
The
like,
camera center, so it's like, and then you're
yeah.
just driving yourself nuts.
And I'm like, but the thing is, the game literally uses three buttons, even on the Dreamcast. You've got jump, you've
Mm.
got the
Yeah.
L trigger for camera and spray, and you got the right trigger for speed boost. Why couldn't they use
Right.
X for spray? It's right there. You could just easily use X for spray
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah.
Like it's just really weird. That's a really weird decision, not by them. It's not like they ran out
You
of buttons to use.
can turn that off in the HD version. You
Ah,
can turn off center camera or whatever so that it doesn't do that. But then I found myself like, oh, I need to see what this ledge is that I'm about to jump off of and stuff,
right.
so I just couldn't do without it.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest complaint. I also I wonder if when they were making the game, they were originally planning to have the speed boost like as like a proper power up where you could, because it's called
Oh,
Jet Set Radio. I imagine they mentioned about them being jet powered magnetic roller skates. I think in the start of the game, but
mm-hmm.
there's no real speed boost in it. Like you kind of skates a little bit forward, but it's very limited. Like you skate for like 1 or 2 seconds a bit faster, and it's. I feel like
Yeah,
if they actually had like a speed boost, like maybe a pickups, and then if you're grinding, you could press the boost button, you get a bit faster to get up the grind. Because quite
right.
often I'd find I'd lose momentum and go up a grind bit and just be stuck going up a grind, going, I can't get up. um,
Yeah, that I think that is the biggest challenge about this game, and it seems like an oxymoron that it emphasizes flow so much, but it's so hard to actually build momentum in this game
yeah,
consistently.
yeah.
So,
And sorry, just probably one of my final thoughts on it. Well, final complaints, I guess, is sometimes when you just want to jump to an area, he will connect your character will connect to a grind bit, but you haven't got enough speed, so you're just kind of stuck there. You kind of have to
yep.
keep jumping, and it's like I didn't even want to do this. I want to jump over there, but you're grinding, and sometimes when you want to grind, you'll jump and just go completely miss it and fall in the water or something. It's just
Yeah,
man,
I think that's the biggest thing, the biggest difference between and best example of Bomb Rush Cyberpunk and this. With Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, there were so many times where I was like on the last challenge of a level, but it flows so well and like I would mess up that I would get that feeling, and I'm sure you've played games like this, Graham, where you say, "Oh, just one more time. No, I can do this again," and it loads up quickly enough
yeah,
that you're like, "One more shot, one more time, one more shot." With Jet Set Radio, going back to it, there were times when things would happen, and I'd be like, "I have to set this down and walk away because I don't feel like I've done anything wrong. I feel like I'm being punished."
yes, yeah,
So, but I still love the game. What is wrong with me?
yeah, yeah. It's yeah,
Does that make sense, though?
it totally
You know
makes
what I mean?
sense. I know because there were a
Because I
few
think that's what they
times.
wanted with this. They wanted you to feel like, "Oh, I can do this again. I can do this again."
Yeah, there were a couple of times I did feel that way, but yeah, some of the time it's just like that's just infuriated me. I need to walk. Yeah, I need to walk away from this. I need to put the controller down for a minute. Um, but I was going to say, oh yeah, sorry. There's another difference in Japanese
Oh,
version that you just reminded me.
okay.
Um,
Oh, okay.
those boss battles where you're having to spray on the backs of people in
Mhm.
the PAL and American versions, they go around a circuit, but they will stop at certain bits and wait for you. I don't know if you noticed that. That so yeah, like the characters you need to spray, they will stop and wait, and you can trigger it so that only one of them will go off skating, so you can kind of just focus on one person at a time. In the Japanese
Right.
version, they still do the same circuits and they do pause at certain points, but they don't wait for you. They will keep going. So it's actually harder to do those
Oh,
bits in the Japanese
wow.
version. Yeah, so they
I found myself memorizing their path and just
mm,
trying to get in front of them, basically.
yeah. Um,
Yeah, because I found that was the better way to get in front of them rather than try to catch up to them.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. But man, but yeah, but overall, I thought the game was great. I know I've complained about it quite a bit, but I still enjoyed it. I had fun. I got to the final boss and I beat the final boss, which we're kind of watching now. And it's such a weird final boss. It's like not where you
Yeah.
think the game's going to go, but yeah,
Big record player in the middle, floating giant golden rhino statue things
yeah,
attacking you, and you have to jump over skyscrapers basically and rotating platforms and stuff, and then spray all up in the middle to, oh yeah, and there's random go-go dancers that have rhino heads.
yeah,
Uh,
really weird.
I do, a testament to this, the first or second 24-hour Dreamcast marathon I did with friends and raising money and everything for Sega Addicts. I felt like I did so bad during the Jet Set hour that I randomly started playing the game again. And then by the time the next podcast happened, I had beaten the game without even meaning to. I like went from beginning to end and was like, "Oh, this is what is happening now?" Because you get to the last boss and it's so different from the rest of the game
Yeah,
that I was like, "I don't, what is going on?" And then I'm like, "Wait a minute, is this the last? Am I about to beat the game? I didn't even mean to. I was just playing it, you know." So it's a testament to it, though.
yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's so weird and wonderful, and the music's fantastic. The vibe is
Yeah.
great. I just yeah, it's very flawed compared to get a lot of games these days, as we've mentioned, especially with the camera controls and stuff. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Um,
Just like Halloween, you never
just
know
like
what you're gonna
Halloween.
get.
Way,
Um,
yeah.
for the younger audience, this game has the best vibes. Sorry, I'm sorry about that. I legitimately feel bad about what I just did. But I want to tell you what two memories that our conversation just unlocked for me.
Okay.
One of them, I formed a band in college, one of many, but one of them was called Noise Tanks, and
Oh,
we spelled it Noizetanx because we were
okay.
real cool. Never played any shows, barely wrote 3 songs, but I was in a band and I came up with the name Noise Tanks. And I don't think they knew what it was from, so they went along with it. The other band members. It was like a prog rock band. I don't know. I do have recordings of some songs we did now that I think about it. That's neither here nor there. Another thing that another way Jet Set influenced my life. In high school, I had to give a speech on something and it had to just be a convincing argument. So I invented the rocket powered roller skates
Ooh.
and I literally took one of my aggressive inline skates that I had, put a container on the back, and got an empty soda can and said that was the battery for it and dropped it into like the back behind the rollerblade and it went like shunk shunk and the teacher thought that was real fun and impressive so I passed. I might have gotten an A on it. It was a freaking joke, but high school, what is it? Yeah, so there you go. Had a band and a speech basically related to Jet Set, inspired by Jet Set.
Man, I don't think I had anything inspired by Jet Set, but
Just weren't cool enough. But now
yeah,
look at you.
clearly. Yeah, indeed. Ah,
Uh,
man. So I guess that kind of wraps up. Do you have any lasting final thoughts about the game, or do you think we've said
um,
enough?
One last thing about Bomber Cyberpunk, Hideki Naganuma did a couple of tracks in that game
Sweet.
also.
Good.
The soundtrack is not nearly as memorable as this one. I shouldn't say not nearly. It's still really good. A closing thought though, from playing this multiple times throughout the week, I any day I was not playing it, I would have a song from this soundtrack stuck in my head, and it was always a
Yes.
different song. So one of the best soundtracks, maybe. I That's what I will say. Aside from the controls, this is one of the most complete packages of a video game. From everything fitting together with the style, the art direction, the soundtrack, the characters, how the story is told, and how the world flows together.
Yes. Oh yeah,
Jet Set
definitely.
Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. Yeah, I guess as I mentioned earlier, the way the levels unfold as well and get bigger and they connect the world together. That was really cool as well. So I think you're right. Yeah, probably one of the best packages. I mean, controls of their time. Also, the actual physical controller itself, I guess, limited it because you didn't have the second analog stick. But would
Yeah.
if this game was released today, I guess in this state that it's in now, I know the HD versions have come out, but would you recommend people buy it basically?
Wait, which the Dreamcast version?
Yeah, I guess yeah. Like if the Dreamcast
Um,
version came out,
I
yes,
still would. I still would. I think people would complain, but I think just this is a thing where our shallowness comes through where the look of something overpowers the actual substance.
man, yeah,
Say take that as you will. But again, it's a shame the HD version got delisted, but that was oh, I have like pins somewhere that Sega was handing out at a booth, maybe at that same PAX we were at,
yes, I've
right?
got them as
Yeah, yeah,
well, and
yeah.
I don't know where they've gone. They're somewhere, but
Yeah, at
yeah,
PAX East that we were both at, but not knowing each other yet.
yeah,
They gave out just they went crazy with the HD versions of stuff, and so they
mm,
had like little not enamel pins, but little buttons, Jet Set Radio themed buttons. I still have I don't know where they are, but there was one of like Potts the dog,
yeah.
and of course Beat and Gum. Then I think the logo. I think that was it. So yep. Sorry, got distracted again. Sega Heritage 1951. It's Jet Set Radio. I mean, let us know in the comments, everything, everywhere, what you think of this game.
Yes,
Did it capture you? It. I guess one more thing to mention. This is one of the few anniversaries outside of Sonic that Sega has actually acknowledged for some reason.
yeah,
Um, they are supposedly making a new Jet Set Radio game. I'm
hmm
not a huge fan of the new logo they have. design for it because it is not as graffiti bespoke as the older one. If you type in Jet Set Radio 25, you'll probably find it easily enough.
Is
There you
that the
go.
one?
Yeah,
Is that?
that's it. The first one there.
Oh man.
It's kind of it feels boring compared to like this crazy spiky. It's got the roller skates in the logo thing, you know. There's all
Does.
kinds of collaborations they've been doing with a rollerblade, thankfully, rollerblading company like a roller skate or something. They did a weird art pop-up, not weird. They did a very small pop-up thing in I think San Diego or San Francisco, somewhere in Cal. No, might have been New York. I don't know. Point is, very small. I didn't even know about it until it happened, but so they're acknowledging the 25th anniversary. And Sega a couple years ago had this splash like proof of concept of we're working on these new games, Shinobi, Streets of Rage, um, Golden Axe, and Jet Set Radio. Those five games, and the only one that's come out was Shinobi, but that was the most progressed one I think out of all of them. It looked like the other ones, as far as I know, the other ones were like proof of concept. Like, hey, do you want to come work for Sega and help us make these games? So there is apparently a Jet Set Radio game getting made.
I I
Uh,
I've seen some early screenshots of it, so I knew it was happening, but I didn't. I for some reason I didn't register that logo. Never came into my 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 vision before now.
they've got it on a mug right now on the Sega shop.
Oh,
If you want that, but
sure.
there is apparently a new one coming out, so hopefully that's cool. I appreciate them acknowledging the anniversary, but I feel like this is one of Sega's most recognizable games, and they really should do more to celebrate it, in my opinion. What do you think, Graham?
Yes, I'd love them to actually do. Um, yeah, more
Like throw
more.
up this. Maybe it's difficult. Throw the soundtrack out on vinyl or something.
Yeah, I think yeah, I think there's been an issue with licensing of a lot of the stuff. For this, that's why they remake on like PlayStation and PC and Xbox. They had to cut a load of songs because of licensing issues and stuff, which is always a
But they
problem with
also had
PC
like
games.
everything from every game in there in the HD version,
Mm.
essentially.
Yeah,
So I don't know. And it was called Jet Set Radio everywhere. There was no Jet
yeah,
Grind Radio.
that's true. Yeah, I
Hmm.
wonder how they got. Maybe maybe the game's big enough now that people wouldn't get confused with the radio station in America, or maybe the radio station in America closed down. I don't know. Um,
I'd go with the latter probably.
hmm,
Uh, Jet Set Radio and Brain Dead. That was who they had the anniversary collection celebration thing through. They did a little pop up thing, but I'll try to link that in the description as well and show notes. Thank you. That's loud.
yep. Sorry, I think
That hurt.
this is the teaser advert they had for all those games that you mentioned. So should have
All
probably
right, we're
played that.
getting distracted now. We're
We
watching
are.
teasers from E3 that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Have they
That's
got?
fun. Just,
Are they actually
just,
showing the?
just.
Oh yeah,
There it is.
that's the early gameplay footage of Jet Set Radio.
It looks great, but I don't think it's a real game yet.
Hmm.
Although they did release through Insert Coin, um, Beats hoodie or a shirt or something like the new. So I'm like,
Yeah,
that's bold. You guys have shown not even a full 5 seconds of gameplay, but you're already throwing out a shirt with the new logo on it. That's crazy. So hopefully it's good. Graham, I'm losing you. You're just watching this trailer. You're on a
damn right.
podcast right
Okay,
now. Graham,
let's
come
go.
back to
Sorry,
me.
I'm back. Sorry, just I forgot all about that trailer. Cool. Right. So Jet Set Radio, awesome. Game's great. That's it. I don't know. Let's wrap
See
up the
ya.
show. Let's wrap up the show. Um, so yeah, if you haven't had a chance to play it,
Does your version look like a record too?
have I got the disc in this one? I don't have the disc in that one. Wait a second. I've got my other case just here. Has this one got the disc in? It does a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of got I guess the lines. Sorry
Yeah.
on that bit. Yeah, so it kind of looks.
Noise.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Close us
right.
out, sir.
Close us out. Yeah, so if any audience, please do let us know your experience with Jet Set Radio. We'd love to hear from you. Do you like it still? Did you enjoy it back in the day? Do you like it still? Would you recommend people play it? Which version is your favourite? Have you played all the?
Is it the best Halloween game in the world?
Is it the best
Maybe.
Halloween game in the world? Do you play it on Halloween? Did you realise it was released on Halloween in America? um, and yeah, Scotty, do you have any shout outs for anything else that's not Jet Set Radio related?
I mean, you can still watch our last episode where we talked about Condemned with Chris from Megavisions,
Mhm.
and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I do stuff on my YouTube page. I'll link it every so often in here, probably in the show notes. But I did a pickups video recently, and I think that's really it. Just yeah,
Great.
let us know what you think about Jet Set, though, people.
Nice.
And if you
Cool.
really want to play the HD version, I'm sure the internet has made that possible. So please go find it if you can.
Yeah.
And don't spray paint anything anywhere.
Yes. Be safe out there, kids, with
We
your
do not condone spray
graffito
painting.
tagging and rollerblading shenanigans.
Did you say graffito?
Yes, that's from The Simpsons. Mr. Burns says graffito tags. Sorry.
Oh,
I assumed
dang. I
people
thought you
would
just
know.
made up a band.
There you go.
Graffito opening
That's
for
your-
Rob Zombie.
Man, yeah, I don't really have any shout outs. As I mentioned at the start of the show, check out the Sega Lounge podcast. I'm in a recent episode, but also they do great episodes anyway. So yeah, check out all their episodes. So great podcast. And yeah, that's it. I think we're done. Scotty's putting his face back on, looking beautiful there. Lovely, completing
I
the
lost
look.
mic. There it is. That's me dropping the mic. And that's why and how Jet Set Radio is that's why Jet Set Radio is synonymous with Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. Go play some spooky
Happy
Jet Set.
Halloween.
Jet Set Radio.
Yeah. And with that, we're out.
Okay, I realized I can't drink anything right now. I'm gonna tell Rachel to get me a straw.
I got this.
One
I'm
second.
very excited to see this outfit.
Hey, honey, can you get me a straw? I realize I can't drink anything right now. Don't say anything though, because the camera's still off. But I'm Graham can hear most of this conversation right now. So yeah, I realized that as soon as I try to drink something, it's going everywhere. One of the metal ones is fine. What'd
I
you
have
say,
no
Graham?
idea what Scott. I'm talking to the camera now. I've got no idea what Scotty's wearing. This is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, listeners at home, viewers, sorry about my camera, but I want to do a big reveal, and we're probably going to cut all this out, honestly. But I'll add it after the fact.
Keep it in. Yeah.
So. Oh God. Okay. Nope. Let's put that over there.
Be very careful. What do you have?
I just have 2 cans.
All right. Do you want to do a practice run?
Oh yeah, let me practice this. Make sure.
You need some practice. I love it.
Perfect. That'll look great for camera too, you know. All right, thank you.
Right.
Is the top still good? Don't say what it is.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Can you close the door behind you?
Wow.
Thank you, honey.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Hope nothing falls apart.
Oh wow.
Okay. That's facing the wrong way, but we'll be all right. Oh, there. That's how it is. Okay. Go ahead with the intro, and I'm ready to reveal.
God, okay. Ooh. Yeah, I'll go to the big screen. You can see all my mess. Oh, that's bad. Anyway.
That works.